Ah, my friend, you have deserted the seas for the comforts land has to offer. Welcome home. Aye, it was time. If not for the passing, my torch would be extinguished. Can you truly give up what she offers? Her countless mysteries, her beauty, her treachery, all found in the journey, which is most precious of all. Aye, my heart fractures. A new generation must conquer the unknown in my stead. I'm glad you made it, my friend. But I must ask, where did you send those young men? Currents beyond memory. We've tread them before. Like many things once essential, they have been lost. Surely you haven't sent them into uncharted waters. Safety is readily available in the mainstream. Many ships and a sure passage. Nay. Untold scores of brave men created the path. Us amongst them. Where once innovation and creativity, where now stands idle bootlickers and hapless cowards. So nay, I did not send them to the mainstream. I've simply given them a heading. They may fail. Aye, they may. 'Tis the risk of great men. But a new age is here. In its course will be set upon the iron seas of fate. And to these brave men and women I say, Godspeed, and hail the Iron Age!
Anyway, that's it. I forgot how long that old intro was. Holy smokes. But welcome. Welcome to the Iron Seas. Now, let's do a quick mic check. C.A. Pence, my friend. Do you have a voice?
I do.
Yo! I'm so happy. Something worked, guys.
Let's go. Let's go.
Hell yeah, dude. So we'll start off. Anyone who is not waiting for the stream that will never happen on the other link, I'm very, very sorry. But for anyone who's here, I thank you. Bill Armstrong, thanks for showing up, my man. Hopefully everyone else is able to come over. Either way, Mr. Justin, Evaleighmusic, Girls Name Music. How are you doing? Yes.
Yes. I'm doing pretty good. Doing pretty good here for Kahuna. It's Tuesday. It's been a good week so far, so I'm happy to be here on the IC with you guys. Hang out with everybody, talk about Fantastic Four, Rise of the Silver Surfer. Thanks for asking.
Less new to the team before, but still nice. Anyway, there's that. C.A. Pence, how has your week been? How has your life been? How is your book? let me know.
Well, my life is good. I just found my remote.
I don't believe it. No one's that fortunate.
I know, right? Book's going along, not as quick as I'd like to, but it'll be here soon.
Hell yeah, dude. And Mr. A.C Music, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Just behind the scenes here, getting that poll back up for everybody in the chat here. These powers were hand selected from our Discord here. Some of them are ours. I think, which one was it? Time manipulation is the one from the Discord. So yeah, go ahead and cast your vote. We'll see which power wins. Don't forget to sub to the Iron Sea Substack for merch and everything. I got that pin there as well. And yeah, I'm doing good. Ready to talk some Fantastic Four and, you know, maybe compare it to the new one a little bit, right?
Hell yeah, dude. Actually, we can just ignore the new one. Who decided Pedro Pascal should be in everything? I like him, but he doesn't need to be in everything, man.
I don't know that I even like him
Sweet
anymore.
mother of God.
I never really tickled my fancy, and the more I see of him, the less I like him, and he's done some things.
So you're saying Pedro Pascal never tickled you? Are you sure?
Well, I didn't
you look
say
like
that.
You look like someone who would be tickled by him.
I don't even know what that means.
Does gravity count as time manipulation too? Starfish Prime, that is a great question. But let's address Bill Armstrong's question before we have AC, or not AC, Justin give us the breakdown.
You read my mind. I was going to hop all over that, but yeah, what you said. Yep.
Quiet, Elric. Did the Thing's girlfriend die in a rock slide? Discuss.
I said that, yeah, she died of ecstasy. Heyo.
But yeah, no, I think, well, she obviously didn't die. Maybe her ability to be with any other man died in that whole exchange, but who's to say, really?
She went through the little death.
You guys remember how horny the early 2000s movies were? Holy smokes. Yeah. Every now and again I go back, I'm like, why is every movie so horny? Every single one.
Better days. Days.
It's because they had boobies back then.
That's true. Tremendously less cleavage in this film than in the first one. Still a couple of sus angle shots there, but still. But yeah, no, this movie, I don't know if it overall... I don't know if it hit the same overall feel of the first one, but how did you guys like the... Actually, before we move on, Justin, give us the breakdown, my friend.
You got it. So we watched Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer from 2007. Summary of this movie after defeating, which they froze Victor Von Doom in the first movie. They sealed him and then put him in a boat and sent him off. So after they defeated him, it turns out he wasn't defeated. Who would have thought? The Fantastic Four, they're starting to kick back and try to enjoy their lives. All four of them are now comfortable with their powers. That's good. They're feeling like themselves. The Thing and Johnny Storm, the bros now. And Sue is planning to become Miss Fantastic, or Mrs. Fantastic, actually. But Rutro, what's that in the A? I wrote, what's that in the, I don't even know what I wrote here. Arnar, it's Galactus. That's the takeaway. He's an evil space creature who eats planets.
That just makes you a beta cuck.
It's great. Sometimes when you write notes in pen or pencil, you can't read your own handwriting. I can't read my own typing, so I don't know what that says about me.
Wait, that doesn't even make sense, Justin. How did you manage that?
I said,
how does he manage anything with tech?
Voice to
text gets my stuff wrong half the time, and we can still mostly decipher it.
I don't know what that means. So Galactus shows up, and he's decided, what Earth is on the menu. He's gonna have Earth. He's gonna put some whipped cream on that thing, just wharf it down. So, but before that, just like that, he's got to send the Silver Surfer to set things up. He's like a sous chef, if you will. Reed Richards and his team must work together to capture the Silver Surfer and figure out what in the heck is going on.
Also, Dr. Doom is also here for some reason.
He's back because that's what I was saying. They didn't defeat him. This is once again starring Jessica Alba. It's got Ian Gruffalo, Christopher Evans, Mikey Chicklets is in there, Lawrence Fishburne, Andre Bauger, and Dougie Jones, who was voiced by Lawrence Fishburne, which is strange to me.
Yeah, I didn't realize he did anything in this movie.
Yeah, he was the Silver Surfer, but he wasn't the voice of the Silver Surfer. It's just odd.
Oh.
This
Yeah,
movie had a
and-
budget of $130 million, $30 million more than the previous movie, but like the previous movie, it also only made it made $330 million, so it did okay. The runtime, this movie, I mean, I dare say it's a perfect length at 1 hour and 30 minutes. The ideal length for any
short.
any
It's
feature
not
film. 1 hour 30 minutes.
Disagree hard on that one, but for
90
this film, I think it's the perfect length.
For any film, perfect length.
Your Italian is showing, my friend. Yeah.
Yeah, but at what speed are we speaking?
Yeah.
That's why it's so beautiful. At an hour and a half, you can watch it at normal speed and be like, yeah, this worked out okay. I didn't have to spend all day watching with these slow panning shots. Oh, it's like a new movie thing. Old movies were edited faster. I feel like movies from the 2000s, like things happen constantly.
This movie
like,
moves.
Colorful.
It does move. Yeah.
That's true.
And new movies are like, there's no color, just brooding and people that talk like this because everything's always very serious. No laughing or smiling. How dare you?
Yeah, no, I do
ambiance,
appreciate the
fog
fun
rolling
fun kind of deal back then. I mean, there is one loss from the first film to this film. There is no unnecessary stripping scene with Jessica Alba, so you know.
She was, however, naked.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true. That's true. And we did get to see Chris Evans turn into the Thing for some reason.
Yeah,
it's kind of weird. They gave Johnny like a character arc, and nobody else had anything going on. You guys notice that?
I mean, kind of, but you know.
I mean, Jessica Alba was complaining about not having a normal life the whole time. You can call that a character arc.
She's like, I have powers that don't affect me my day to day and make me awesome, but this is so hard, so hard. Very. I'm getting married on top of a tower in New York with every celebrity on the planet coming to the wedding. My life is so hard.
But she just wants to like settle down, you know. And starts off with not right away, but you know, in the front end of the movie, there's the whole wedding thing. She's like, I just want to settle down. I just want to have a family. I don't want to do all this. And then, yeah, that's a struggle, man. I feel bad for old Sue there.
They should have just eloped. Went to Vegas. It would have been good.
That's true.
And we still could have kept that very awkward club scene with Mr. Fantastic flirting with a bunch of like random sorority girls.
Just two of them. Just two.
No, he danced with two. He flirted with many. Yeah, the whole. I wanted that line to come back. Is it true you can stretch any part of your anatomy? I really wanted that. That's a line that could have been a callback to the first one. Yeah.
I gotta check in with AC. This movie opens up with it's a planet, but the planet floating around in space, it almost looks like an egg. And this planet explodes, and out of it comes a Silver Surfer, which looks a whole lot like a sea friend. And so I'm wondering if there's some symbolism there. Yes, if you will.
A seafaring, yeah. Okay.
A single-tailed, yes, like
1,000%.
Whoa! I leaned it down for a second. What happened? What are we talking about?
At the beginning of the movie, man, a planet blows up and it looks like a reverse pregnancy taking place.
Well, because like, what does Silver Surfer do, right? Doesn't he kind of do that? Doesn't he kind of do that? Yeah. He's kind of doing.
Yeah. He goes through his surfboard like a house. Yeah.
Yep.
He's like, so, I could literally just turn my head, or I can go through my surfboard and like full body look behind me like a damn.
So he's the swimmer that gets in, but instead of being like, now we're gonna create life and make something beautiful, he gets in there and just destroys it.
Yep, the egg bursts.
Oh man, that's
I think it's a missed opportunity. You're really like, I'm glad you brought this up because it's like when you have something that's that on the nose about it, like the Silver Surfer is a hero in some cases, right? I'm not too like much of an expert on Silver Surfer lore in the comics, but I think there's a lot.
He's the hero a lot of the time in the comics, actually.
Yeah,
and this
there's
movie
a lot of
does address that.
There's different directions that could have taken him, you know, and when you have that heavy of symbolism laid on like that, I feel like. I mean, if you can like make the story about family for starters, if it has this fertility theme, you know, tie that in, you know, instead of just kind of. I mean, I know it works just in a general sense with Silver Surfer himself, but I mean, you can make the story like that and it double down, you know.
A follow-up question, because whenever he first shows up in Earth, where does he land? He lands in Japan. There's Japanese fishermen there, seeing him float by and freeze up everything. So I'm like, oh, you could have landed anywhere on the planet. You're doing this like reverse weird thing, and you land in Japan.
Right.
Who wouldn't land in Japan?
He must have seen that thing that I posted in the chat earlier.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering.
What about like I think a jungle or something would have been cool, right? Like a super fertile. Like what's the most fertile place on the planet? Like, and this is
The
what I'm talking
Congo, the Amazon.
Japanese Ocean.
It's not Japan.
Not Japan. Japan's really hard.
Wherever you can buy that item that I posted in our Discord earlier. AC,
that's
if you
the
could post. AC, no. I reverse that. Do not post what I posted, but post the Discord link in the chat down below.
Yeah.
Oh,
I didn't actually see it. I got there after it was taken down, so I have no idea.
I got rid of it
there.
because I know about it and I'll tell people about it, but I don't want public images of me posting that picture on the internet. That's all I'll say.
Maybe I'm glad I missed it. Jeez.
See,
all right.
A couple people were asking questions. They didn't really want the answers, but I gave it to them anyway.
I wanted all the answers. Tell me everything.
I told you, didn't I?
I know,
And
you did.
are you scarred for life? Yeah.
I'm terrified.
What?
Oh, it's so bad too because there used to just be one, and now there's like a whole variety, like a whole bunch of copycats too.
It grew?
Yeah. No, apparently it's popular, but
I meant the thing itself. It only had one first.
That's so disturbing.
To imagine what this could be, and my imagination is too limited. It's hitting here, and I have a feeling it's out here somewhere.
Justin, I'm gonna say it. I'll say the name of the original one. It's the Round Table of Pussy.
Yes.
Not really.
I love that name.
It is a Japanese Smex toy, and I'm not going to explain it on stream. But anyway, here we are. We just lost like 3 viewers. I'm so happy about that.
They're like, I already know about it. These guys aren't telling me anything new. Nothing educational here. Moving on.
No, we're talking about famine.
At least the humor from the first Fantastic Four is still present in this movie. Why is Doctor Doom here? Because Silver Surfer's not really a bad guy. If only we had another bad guy in this film. Oh yeah, the planet-eating god. If only.
If only.
See, to me, I'm like, I was thinking that they were going to set up something else whenever they got to Galactus, but I think we'll catch up with that. You were talking about the sense of humor. They still had some of the quips in there, but I feel like they didn't. And you even made this point. I feel like everything in this movie doesn't quite land as well as it should compared to the first movie. It didn't feel like a step up or even a step sideways. It felt like a step over.
I think the visuals are better,
down.
but that's maybe it.
Yes, that's true. There was no. Well, it's because he wasn't doing his little stretchy thing under the door where they're like, let's have a slow shot of him.
No, he was in the club, dude, stretching his body.
See,
not weird.
They had so much going on that even though it didn't look great, it wasn't the main focus. It was just an aspect of it. So it didn't really like hit you the wrong way. But I love in the airplane right at the beginning, Reed's like, I need to put this bag somewhere. Oh, that lady hasn't put her bag up, and we see him being a total D. Just like
I like that his powers aren't that good, but they like for everyday things, it can make things slightly more convenient.
Yes, I appreciate that. I was like, oh yeah, that would be like he's kind of a jerk for doing that, but I mean, maybe would I do that if I was him in that situation? I would at least think about it for sure. Or like you want a shoe and they don't have it in your size, so you can either unstretch or restretch your foot to fit. So
you want to pinch your wife's butt from across the house? You have that power.
There you go.
You can do it, my friend.
Going around doors and stuff. Like, where are you? Where are you?
And
the camera, little camera.
She's like, I have these papers. This is a problem.
You also run the risk of grabbing someone you don't want to grab. Just throwing that
in
out
your
there.
own house. Who else is in your house running around?
Everyone's in his house. Did you not see that?
There's a burglar. Ooh, what was that?
I was gonna take this, but now I feel comforted, so we'll leave it.
It's like I hope my family never sees this stream, but anyway.
I like to at the beginning, you know, they have the weird weather going on. The Sea of Japan freezes, and then there's snow at the pyramid, which I thought that was a cool shot. Yeah. And so it shows the Fantastic Four on the news and all that because they're getting married. And as part of the newscast, they're talking about these events going on around the world, and the newscaster's
and a celebrity wedding.
He's like, global warming has been ruled out. It's like, oh, well, because back then that was, you know, that was going to ruin everything.
Justin, AC, hold down the fort for just a second. I have to arrange a phone call for the boys. I'll be right back. 1 second.
Sure. So they rule out global warming, which is good because I had a fear, you know, I was like, what if these people think it's acid rain? What if they think it's the hole in the ozone layer that's causing all these problems or global cooling? But no, they ruled out global warming to, you know, say that there's something else going on here. And I just like the fact that it did start with the wedding. That's nice. I can't remember the last time I seen a movie where it has like, I don't know. There's something nice about like the dialogue in it and them talking about wanting to start a family and how difficult it was going to be. And the wedding was like a main focus at the beginning. It was like bookended with that, which I thought was cool. I can't think. Can you guys think of any other movies like that aren't maybe like a romantic comedy that has done that, or maybe a drama? I don't know.
I'm sure they're out there, but I can't even think of one at the moment.
I can't either. Nothing comes to mind. So I was watching this and I was like, oh, that's nice. That's you know. I thought this movie too was colorful. Like I was saying earlier, a lot of new movies, I feel like they don't have that pop of color like these movies have.
Yeah, no,
like,
they've
more
abandoned
light
fun.
than
They've abandoned color. We want colored people, but not color on our screens. Anyway,
As Andy
Anyway.
over there is all black and white over there.
Yep. I take offense to that.
playing that old Michael Jackson song. It don't matter if you're black or white. Oh, anyway, C.A. Pence. I forgot to say it this earlier, but I'm so glad you got to come on the show. I've talked to you on AC's show, and you're always hanging out in the Discord and posting offensive memes, which is what we encourage over there. And
You're welcome.
yeah, no, it's a great time, man.
I'm glad to
Didn't
finally be
answer?
on.
Thank you, Thorne, for coming in and announcing that as loud as possible. I love you, my son. Go work on your Lego, okay? Oh, lordy. But, yeah, no. What did you guys think of Silver Surfer as a character overall? I thought he was actually, despite. Hold on, you guys talk.
Sure. In terms of Silver Surfer, you guys can weigh in too. I liked him. I thought he was cool. I mean, I'm a little bit partial to that character design because as somebody that grew up doing board sports on the regular, whether it be skateboarding at home or snowboarding in the winter, surfing in the summer, I see a guy on a surfboard, and it's just, I mean, I love the aesthetic. I love the look of the guy, and it also it hits the nostalgia button for me because I'm like, oh yeah, I remember around this time period, everything was board sports and like it was the Jackass guys like Bam Margera skating was so big and all that. And so his design was cool, and I thought his character was interesting. He's kind of like this henchman and all that, and trying to figure out his mystery because I had always remembered him being a good guy from wherever I saw him as a kid. And so in this, where he's presented as he's doing bad things, I was pretty interested in his character and his story.
Yep, same.
Well, he's always been a tragic character who was forced, usually by Galactus, but sometimes by others, to do heinous things in order to either be like continue living or to save his family. And I gave my son the controller, and there's nothing I can do. Anyway, just saying it's what it is. But...
You're gonna have your own dance party, right? Yeah.
It works faster than the automatic switch setting, so yeah, man, this works out. Thank you, little guy. Thank you, Bubba.
Any of you guys see the cartoon from back in the day, the Silver Surfer cartoon?
Maybe.
I don't think I did. I don't believe I did.
It was good. It was very short, but it was very good.
Oh, 98. That's more recent than I would have guessed. So yeah, that would have been. Maybe I did see this. Do you know what did air on Cartoon Network?
See, I didn't have cable back then, so I don't know. I watched on WB, I believe, or whatever they played Marvel at the time.
Was it around the same time that like Spider-Man came out and stuff?
Yeah, it was around that time. Kind of same studios, I'm assuming.
Good stuff.
Yeah, it looks familiar. That intro sequence where he's riding like directly at the camera looks very familiar.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, AC, any good symbolism you see here? I mean, with friendship wieners being a recent meme on our channel, there were a lot of holes they put in the earth here. I feel like if you had enough friendship wieners, you could fill all of those holes, and Galactus would have no way to suck the earth dry. What do you guys think?
I think Evalie hit it on the head with the main one with like the fertility. That's why I doubled down, and I was like, they could have made this whole movie kind of about that and really like embodied the whole idea. And I think even if that doesn't touch on some of the Silver Surfer's like personality traits, the idea of Silver Surfer as a whole, like I mentioned right away, isn't that what he's doing? And they seemed aware of it if they're going to set up like the first shots like that,
The
Also,
interesting thing about
it maybe it was a metaphor for that product that I brought up earlier. Maybe like Earth will. Maybe that's what they were preparing for Galactus. I don't know, dude. Just use your imagination. But
Galactus likes particularly fertile planets, like planets that have a lot of life on them. So it actually could have been symbols of
fertile planet, aren't you?
Is Galactus dad then?
And
Well,
yes,
yeah.
RJ, I do have a little Kahuna. I have a little Kahuna and a mini Kahuna. I have two so far. Hoping to have a little little daughter Kahuna running around one of these days, but we'll see. We'll see. Welcome, RJ. And Herman, old man. Thanks for showing up. I appreciate it. But yeah, guys, also, I will say, I think the action is better in this film.
Really?
Yeah, I like some of the set pieces from the first one, but it feels like more of the action was just better filmed and more dynamic with the characters. But yeah, what do you guys think?
I enjoyed it less, actually. I liked the action better. Like, I was even reading through my notes here. I'm like, what took place? They, like, fought in the jungle or something, but she just kind of talked to him, and they, like, shot at the surfer, and he flew away. They were at that giant, like, Ferris wheel-looking thing, and almost fell over, but then it didn't. I'm trying to think what other even action sequences took place, and at the very end, where they fight in, like, I think they're in China somewhere, maybe.
It's in Korea.
Is it Korea?
They got Korean in the background, so.
I almost said, they're fighting somewhere. I'm not sure where. Can somebody tell me where they were fighting? And then, of course, I took a stab and got it wrong. Now I'm in trouble.
How dare you?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what other action sequences, because in the first one, I mean, even now thinking back between the two movies, I remember the first movie better. The action sequences in that with, like, everything we talked about last episode. So
the humor was a little crisper. Some of the action was better in the first, but I think the overall action was better in the second. I think Doom is a much worse villain than Silver Surfer, even though Silver Surfer wasn't really a villain.
Oh yeah,
overall.
I mean,
I didn't mind Doom in the first one. In this one, I thought he was lame. And I feel like all they had to do was give him, like, a crazy voice once he has that mask on, make him sound evil or, like, demonic or something. Instead, like, he's just like
Bane in The Dark Knight Rises.
I was born in the dark.
Yeah, I think collectively the consensus is they kind of dropped the ball with Doom.
Yes,
and with the Silver
and Galactus. Why did they make a bunch of these villains like giant fart clouds that like acted like well committed fart clouds in space? Like they did the same thing in the Green Lantern film. You guys remember that same thing? Just a big colorful cloud in space.
I don't remember that movie. I haven't seen that one in a long time. I didn't mind Galactus. I don't know what he's supposed to look like. So this giant, like, cloud.
I'm going to bring it up. So continue talking.
It reminded me of the monster like in Lost, the smoke monster, where because you can't see exactly what it is, it's almost like the Scary Movie where they don't reveal what's taking everything out. You just see this and you're kind of your own imagination. It's just this weird electric fog coming at you and envelops the whole planet. I was on board with that. Dr. Doom in this movie that was just I don't know why I was there. He was just throwaway and lame.
They weren't wrong with Galactus per se, but he also just has a more traditional comic book design, and I think that's what people were going for. We're hoping for.
Yeah,
so.
they started committing to the more actual like comic. Like, this is exaggerated. He's usually a bit smaller, but this is.
Wait, he's on a ship usually.
Wait, why does he have a twirly straw? I didn't see that before I clicked this.
Wouldn't you do that?
So he drinks the oceans, man. He's got a paper straw.
I'm gonna suck that earth dry.
Drink your milkshake.
So that's those fingers coming down, but.
Does he literally take plants and just eat them like an apple?
He does eat. I always like. I never read a comic
with a fork and knife, and he's just cutting little slivers of the planet and dipping them in ranch or something.
Drinks all the water off.
He's got some cosmic cooking channel. He's like, all right, today we're taking the rings of Saturn.
Today you guys got to get your own Ego the Living Planet. I got my Ego the Living Planet, and this is my. Why? I never saw that fight in the comics. It had to happen at some point, right? Ego the Living Planet versus Galactus, the planet-eating god, basically. That had to happen at some point, right?
No, but Deadpool did assassinate him. That happened.
What, Ego or Galactus?
No, Deadpool assassinated Ego somehow.
Yeah, no, it's never really explained. It's like one of those things like where one character kills the entire universe, and it doesn't usually make sense, but it's fine. It's like, remember when the Punisher killed Spider-Man for like somehow, or like any character that wasn't like a human, basically? I'm like, pardon me, how? Pardon me, how? I have so many questions. Deadpool, he kind of breaks the rules. I'm kind of more okay with Deadpool killing off the entire Marvel universe than Punisher. But yeah, Anyway, any final thoughts before we give our rating?
Well, let's go.
yeah.
Let's also go around while we're giving our ratings. Just state your preference between a good Silver Surfer and an evil one, right?
I got all kinds of notes I haven't gotten to.
Oh shit! Go through those.
Sue in this one, they made her more blonde, and it somehow looked worse. But her contacts looked better. Her contacts looked better, except in one shot where she had the Legolas eye going on. Was doing that whole vibe. But I thought in general, I was like, okay, they must have heard complaints like me and Bats had of the first movie. It was like, she doesn't look quite right. And we're like, let's make her more blonde, and just went too far.
Can we make her less Spanish looking? The studio.
I mean, yeah. And so I appreciate the blue contacts at least. I like the scene. There's where I can't remember the guy's name. Was it Hagar? The military dude. He
Sammy
is showing
Hagar?
Sammy Hagar. Hey, he was causing these problems.
He's rising off the top.
Panama. So he has images of what's causing all of these issues, but he's worried that the public's gonna freak out. And it's at that point that they change the narrative. And I'm like, yo, it's just like real life. And I was getting New Jersey drone vibes, which we still haven't figured out what was going on there. And I'm like, somebody knows, and they're just not saying.
Allegedly, they're looking for immigrants, but that just seems like bullshit to me.
In New Jersey. Hey, have you pop up north for a second? Go to New York, and I'm no chance you'll find any there.
Hey, who won the election? That guy. All right, let's just say they're looking for immigrants, right?
We won. Wasn't even close. We won everything. Like, can you believe it? This is crazy.
The guy in charge of the program is a Minnesotan. Ace is tipping his hand here. We knew it. We knew it this whole time. It's been AC all along.
We're coming to that state. We're going to find out whether their penises are popsicles. We don't really know.
That's why the Summer of Love popped off in Minnesota. Yeah.
Oh, just telling these drones they're just checking out for their immigrants there. They're not up to nothing no good, you betcha.
I do appreciate that all of the collective world has such a short attention span now that we have just forgotten and don't care anymore.
It's hard, man. The news cycle is drinking through a fire hose. It's just like you can try, but after a couple days, weeks, months, if you don't get that steady feed, it slips out of your consciousness, and if 50 other things pop up and take its place, it's a lot to keep track of. But yeah, I know what you mean. There's so many things like that in the past too. I'm like, what happened here? I like whenever Johnny first shows up and he's got his Dodge Ram, which clearly Dodge had was involved in the advertising in this one.
You don't say.
And later on with the spaceship, he's like, "Oh, your spaceship has a Hemi?" I was like, "Come on!" But you know what though? I love it. I sort of love it. There's something about movies from this time period where they tried to be like, "Hey, this isn't an ad." And
I like that it's so on the nose you can't ignore it. Unlike the first Iron Man, obviously Audi was a sponsor because 4 or 5 of them show up. At one point, an Audi gets tossed with a family in it, then Iron Man catches it, and it's in perfect. Okay, I see what's happening here. I almost would rather he be like, man, this thing's pretty well built. Probably a good buy.
That was awesome. I like whenever Stan Lee's trying to get into the wedding playing himself. He's like, "No, I'm on the thing." He's like, "You're not on the list. You can't get in here." He's like, "No, I am.
I'm Stan Lee."
Yeah, I like that. And I forgot that he used to show up in all these movies and have a little side role, and that was fun.
He has so many good cameos. It would make me smile anytime he showed up. Also, RJ, no, because this show is not The Boys. I don't want more of a show like The Boys. No, we do not need sponsored superheroes.
Damn it. His next comment though. I'm kind of here for that. That's the realistic shit. The Boys got some things right.
Okay, first, Invincible over Boys any day of the week. Sorry. If you're gonna pick one, Invincible is better. Sorry. Maybe it's just because it's maybe it's because it's cartoony and kind of commits to that a bit more. The Boys was funny, but it after a season or two, I'm kind of done. I don't want to watch this anymore.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. I like Sue hides her zit, and she's like, "Okay," and I just have to keep doing that for the next 8 hours.
She has to. She had to focus on that.
Just the one zit, and then whenever Torch is talking to, I can't remember the girl's name, the girlfriend of Thing. What's her name?
Oh,
they actually had a thoughtful conversation, and then he completely ignored it. But yeah,
sounds about right.
Wait, what happened?
They had a thoughtful conversation, and then he
Oh.
was kind of like dismissive, like he always
I
is.
thought you were
but-
saying you had a thoughtful conversation, and I just completely went by, and I was like, I may have, because I'm like looking at my
dare
notes,
you.
and I'm half listening and reading the chat. So,
Freaking Justin over here, like bringing that Joe Bats energy, like I'll do it again.
you didn't have to cut me off.
Yeah.
So they're having that conversation, and he's like, "So how do you and Alicia there? How do you, when you're if you know what I mean, if you're you know what I mean?" And he says, "I'd hate to one morning to wake up and hear she was killed in a rock slide." And then Alicia's like, "Hey, don't tease him." And then he's like, "Have you seen the women I've dated?" And she just goes, "No."
Yeah. The blind woman has not seen. Yeah,
Yeah,
has not
I was
seen
like,
him.
that's such a dumb, obvious, great joke. I was like, that made me laugh out loud. That was nice. And then they had that nice little brother sister moment where she's like, Dad would be proud, or he says that to her or whatever. I was like, that's nice. You get a little characterization there. And then he's got the PDA going off at the altar and all that stuff.
Yeah, probably describe what a PDA is in this day and age.
Oh yeah, not public.
I'll call myself Mr. Fantastic. I'm a monster. Call me the Thing.
Yeah. Personal digital assistant. People used to carry them, and it would like tell you different things. It was kind of like a cell phone before cell phones could do what cell phones do now. It's like one of the devices that got integrated. So that's his little PDA there.
Gee whiz, mister, were you there when they made fire?
Yes, it
Johnny
was a wonderful time. Yeah, it was a good time. Speaking of fire, that's when that's with like the scene later on where she switches powers. And I thought all the power switching was so silly and fun, but that's when her clothes gets burned off because she's not used to being the torch, and they make contact after Surfer.
Oh yeah, there was some Jessica Alba mid nudity. Okay, yeah.
Yep.
Never mind, we're back.
Face down, just like all her clothes burned off.
All you gotta do is put your lips together and blow.
Why? Why?
Why is that there? That's a good question.
Your clothes, give them to me.
Okay, that
Give
one I'm
them.
more on board with.
Yep. I didn't mean to click that one, but
Sure you didn't.
Yeah. it
actually,
worked.
actually, when he's asking about the rock slide, I think this is the only answer.
That's exactly what the Thing said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
No.
Ben, what happened to your voice? Oh Lord. Okay. Anyway,
I have a question for you.
What are we talking about?
You guys won't have the answer here, but there's a scene where Johnny is hanging out in their apartment, and there's an arcade in the background. And I tried to get Grok to tell me what arcade was back there, and it's like, did you know arcades were around in the 2000s? Lots of movies had them. I'm like, Grok, you're useless, bud. I think it might have been
Grok,
Disney
why are you the way you are? Anyway.
I like the premise, the setup with the 8 days later, the planet dies. Whenever they brought that in, that was cool. I like countdown mechanics and things because they create a sense of like, there's a finite timeline they got to get things done by, so it gives you time to operate, but also it's ever closing, and it's like, do we sleep? What do we do in order to try and maximize the time to prevent this? And I like that hanging overhead, even though I don't remember conversations with like, we only have 3 days, we're down to 2 days. I don't remember that happening, which is kind of strange. I think they just kind of mentioned 8 days and then the movie just sort of unfolded
Pretty much.
Which
It's just the one time, and they never mentioned it again.
Yeah, I was like, I guess it's been a week. I don't know. There's no like day-night cycle going on, so it's hard to tell how much time has passed. But I'm trying to think if there's anything stand outy on here on my notes that's worth mentioning. The breakout. Oh yeah, the Dodge, the surf ad on their little board there. Doom goes after them. Destroy. Oh yeah, they blow up part of the wall of China.
Wait, did that? I must have missed that one.
Am I wrong? I thought there was the wall, like they were up in the air, and I thought that's what they were blowing up at the end. I was checking my phone at that scene because it's just an action sequence, and I was listening to it, so I was like reading my emails or something, and I'm like, oh, he blew up the wall of China, and then went back to my notes. That's why I thought the movie ended in China, because I thought they blew up the wall of China and then ended up in a Chinese city, and apparently they weren't. It wasn't the wall of Korea, was it? I didn't miss that too, did I?
The wall of Korea, yeah, it separates North and South Korea. I don't know.
I gotta rewatch. I need to rewatch this movie to see what I missed, because apparently it was a lot. The whole separating the surfer from the board, all his power comes from the board. I thought that was kind of odd. And there was a scene there that Didn't make total sense to me. He's like, we got to use the pulse, and that'll get him off his board. And I didn't fully understand how that worked. I'm just like, okay, we'll roll with it. And then, of course, you get the scene where
if there's any Silver Surfer philosophers in the chat, let us know how that works.
Yeah,
because one of the topics tonight is superpowers, as the poll suggests. So yeah, let us know how that works. Anyway, what were you saying, Evelyn?
Oh yeah, so I was just saying, with that they separate him from his board, and that's how he like loses his power. And I didn't know that that's where his power came from. I thought it was just something he rode on. I didn't realize that was like this thing in it called Galactus and all that, and gave him his ability to do what he did. I thought that was kind of interesting. But whenever they change powers and they give them to Torch, and he's doing Thing stuff and Invisible Girl stuff, how is it? And this is a dumb question, so I'm answering my own question as I'm speaking out loud. The guy didn't have to practice anything. He just has these powers, and he's immediately awesome with them to fight Doom and to get the board.
Also, every time he touched someone before, they switched. Why did he get all of them?
They must have been like all at the same time, I guess. I don't know.
He's a Mary Sue.
Guys, quick! Guys, just like the movie, everybody, touch me.
Have you ever considered propane as an alternative energy source for that board of yours? With a little retooling, I could get it to work. Tell you what I'm going to do. Being that you're my neighbor and I like you, I'm going to give you the new neighbor discount and a free t-shirt. So what do you say?
Shout outs to Bill in the chat.
That's awesome. They did a crossover advertisement.
That's
Man,
pretty
TV
good.
used to
That's
be
pretty
fantastic. I
Much
love that
better
stuff.
days. Yep.
Oh yeah.
Also, the fact like the surfboard was never, it kind of depends. In some comics, it was not the sort like he made the surfboard. If he lost it, he just like, all right, anyway, I made a new one. Let's go. It was never like the surfboard is my power. He's not like some hipster going to Hawaii like, dude, like I feel so much power on my surfboard.
I will say, missed opportunity. The fact that they didn't have him catching some waves and like dropping in on some surfers. You get like Kelly Slater out there.
He could go through buildings. Why would a wave thrill him?
Because it appeals to us as Earth people. You know, I want to see that. I want to see Silver Surfer doing some cutbacks. You know,
I want to see him cut off like an angry local guy, just like, hey, but what you?
Yeah, something like that.
Get bitten by a shark or something.
I like towards the end. Sue gets taken out. She gets unalived, and then Silver Surfer brings her back, and I was like, yes, that's what you do.
Yeah,
you don't kill the babe. You don't kill the babe. You bring her back.
That's what heroes do.
John, catch some cosmic waves, brother.
Yeah, there we go. That's the vibe, man.
I date alien women and ride the cosmic waves. I go with the flow.
I'm a semen symbol.
Come on, man. Don't you feel it?
Silver Surfer in the next movie, he just got like long locks and like a goatee.
And he can alter his own appearance, so it would be a choice. Like, this is my lifestyle. Like, this is who I am.
Silver Surfer's arch nemesis is a demon from C.A. Pence's book, a demon known as abortion.
Oh God. Yep, totally.
Because he's a semen symbol, as Evalie pointed out.
Also, one of my favorite comic covers of all time involves the Silver Surfer. It's where he and Thor first meet in the comics, and it's represented by that great cover of like Thor like full body swinging the hammer at Surfer, who's like bearing down on him. It's one of my favorite comic book covers, and Marvel, of all the things you choose to do, why not that? Why hasn't that happened? Of all the things that you've tried, like Loki becoming like an agent, what the hell are you doing? Give me what I want. I've stopped caring, but you should still give it. Anyway.
I know there's so many easy home runs, and I feel like they're gonna get back on track to a degree. And then it's like, do you even care at that point?
No.
Then we'll
Same thing with Star Wars. Like,
because...
hey, we got rid of Kathleen Kennedy, kind of. I'm like, yeah, okay, thanks. I stopped caring like 5 years ago.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm really curious to hear you all's thoughts after this. Whenever we get into the new Fantastic Four trailer that dropped, and if everybody's on the same page with that, because I'm hearing mixed things. But yeah, the movie ends. We get Sue and Reed do end up getting married, and then of course Johnny burns the bouquet. It's like, what a jerk. Which I felt like his whole character was kind of toned down in this movie. He didn't feel as much like he did in the first one. They tried to keep that vibe alive early, but it kind of faded out. And I feel like in the first movie, he was kind of that showboat the whole time, which was just more enjoyable. So for me, my pros for this one, it's a fun film. You know, I got weddings. It's nice. Silly little story with some good moments. It's not like, wow, you got to watch this movie. It's incredible. But if you're like, hey, I need something to watch with, my kids or whatever, not like little tiny kids, but a little bit older, not quite teens yet, something like that. Just like a fun little throwaway movie on an afternoon. Pretty good for that. The Surfer's cool. The combining of the powers was fun and entertaining. Like I said, it does lack the charm of the first movie. It didn't tickle the kahunas, as they say, the way the first film did. And that's from the soundtrack to the editing, the character interactions. All of it was just not on that same level. I didn't mind Doom in the first one, but I did think he was lame in this one. I will say, though, despite all of that, at least for me, this is a very, is it tepid? Tepid float? Is that the word?
Like a barely floater kind of thing.
Yeah, is that the right word? Does that mean lukewarm?
Yeah, like a D-.
Well, like Joe talking about the float, like, oh yeah, like it's a sinker, just like all those buoys. Yeah.
So
yeah,
so
I
what
wouldn't
you're saying
call it
is
a sinker.
it's like 62%, which is like a D-. And so like that puts into perspective all these people who are like apologists for the new stuff. Like basically every shitty new thing that Disney and Marvel put out, you got these.
It makes all these things look better too.
They're like I give it 7 out of 10, and that's their way of like failing it without failing it. And I know this because my newspaper that I work for literally told me to do this, and they're doing it subconsciously without even realizing it. So when they're like, "Oh, I checked out the new game," they don't really say anything amazing about it. They just say that they love it, right? And then they're just like 7 out of 10. It's like, okay, I know what that means. That's a little bit above a D-, right? A little bit above a D-.
Well, it depends on your scale. Like for my scale, I've started making it's an out of 10 scale for things, and it's always like 5 is true average. So 6 isn't bad. It's just not great.
Well, exactly. It's like what Evalie said. It still floats, right? Like you weren't like vomiting as you were playing it or watching it or whatever,
Yeah. Yeah, this is the kind of movie, like I said, if somebody threw it on, I'd watch it. I'd be like, yeah, it's not the best superhero movie. But again, the fact that it's an hour and a half, it's like by the time you're being like, hang on, wait, what? Oh, I don't know. It's over. And you're like, oh, okay. Like you didn't have time to process that there were like all of these issues that made it a lot it could have been so much better if they had done some certain things, but it's like it's over in a flash. I am upset. I wish we would have got another one. I wish we would have got one that was a little bit more I don't know.
So
more like the first one.
Bad? Is what you're saying? Too quick to be bad?
So
yeah, there's something to that.
Evalie says float. CA, what do you say?
I
Floater
say
thing.
It's pretty much on par with that. It's a movie I'll sit down and watch. I sat down and watched it with you guys essentially, and yeah, otherwise I probably wouldn't have sought it out.
Yeah. So you say float too, but like kind of barely like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
That's fair.
I'll kind of say the same thing. Yeah. So it's a floater. Technically.
I'm gonna give it a float, but I like this is the lamest float of all time. Like,
it's a rebellion vote. It's a rebellion float. You can think of it like that because what we have in front of us right now on screen is the new trailer. We're gonna watch that with the chat right now.
Oh dear God!
I'm gonna mute it, just so there's no copyright. Let me see. There we go.
I think we could. I don't know what kind. Like, let's just try it. Let's try it with volume on.
Okay.
Just low.
We can pause it within 10 seconds. Just let's do the 10-second rule or whatever.
Okay, so we're gonna pause 47 times, but we'll get through this.
Okay, we'll do it. We'll do it. Okay. So here's the new trailer, guys. Let's compare. See what people think.
Let's get it.
I hate it.
This is stupid. What are they thinking?
Now, this is right off the get-go. I like the blue and the blue and the orange, nice contrast of colors, but this is the same problem. Look at the way it's graded. It's like these things could have pop and life, but everything's just kind of like, no, let's just make it kind of like gold. It's kind of like saturated, a little gold.
I think this isn't
actually, Justin. I have a reason to disagree with you this time. Because they're going for the old-timey look, and this is kind of that old grainy look some of those old things used to look like.
And there was no color?
Fantastic Four.
Technicolor.
We watched like I Dream of Jeannie and shows from that era regularly. I promise they have pops of color.
Now with Technicolor. That's what they always said. Now with Technicolor.
Keyword color, not with Techna Green or Techna Bland or Techna. I know.
You go to like a ghetto theater. It's like, well, we couldn't afford Technicolor, but here we are.
It feels like somebody that didn't actually watch anything from that era trying to create that look with digital means to make it happen, and it just feels off to me. Like immediately, I feel like I'm eating. Like somebody's like, "Hey, here, have a bite of this cake," and I go to bite it, and it's just a piece. It's just like plastic cake. It's not even cake. Can't even eat
Right.
it. Just plastic toy.
I can't help but feel like there's an AI manager like running this whole project that was like, Fallout was popular. Lean into that a little bit. You know what I mean?
James Cameron's next Avatar film is going to be the first major motion picture I'm aware of that will basically say, hey, none of this was generated by AI or was contributed to by AI in any capacity.
Interesting.
And that might be something for like genuine artists going forward that they'll have to start doing. I mean, AC, you could even speak to that because, like, being a musician, and Justin, rumor has it you do music sometimes as well.
I dabble.
They'll have to have some sort of universal, like, official definition of AI for sure, because, I mean, people really they catch this argument right off the bat because it is kind of a straw man, you know, but it's no less true that the things that we use right now aren't really truly AI. They're like super advanced algorithms. And with that in mind, you can say that like Photoshop filters are AI, and brushes, you know, in paint programs and stuff like that are AI. There's obviously the facial recognition in like Snapchat and like Facebook and other photo recognition things basically built into everything. So there's that already. It's already there. So even James Cameron, it's like, well, did you do it free of AI? So I think it's going to need a little, and I'm all for it, like a clear definition. Like, let's have a clear definition for sure,
right?
And then start labeling things for sure. You know,
I'm not going to hack on an indie artist for using AI as long as they state so, as long as they elaborate and like explain that they have used it. But at the same time, there is something to appreciate when someone doesn't have to use it at all.
Oh, for sure.
And are going to go that extra mile.
Berserk.
I think as long as people don't try to like hide the fact that they're using it, like, and not even so much that you don't even have to come out and just be like, guys, before you buy this, I need you to know that I used AI on it. I don't even need that. But if it's like, hey man, how'd you do that cover? And they're like, oh, that was a little bit of tooling around, but it was AI. Or how did you do that? I'm like, that's fine. Doesn't bother me. But I will say the set design on this, I do like that. It looks cool. It's got like the little bubble back there, where it looks very much like that time period, but futuristic for that time period. The cake coming up out of the thing. Speaking of cake,
well, and
I do
Fantastic
like that about
Four
it.
is like the '60s, right? It is like I Love Lucy time, right? That's kind of like
also
later,
nothing. I'm not downing on anyone's looks, but previous Sue Storm, this Sue Storm, oh
downgrade.
Man,
heavy downgrade.
Who is
This is why we're watching.
I recognize it, but I don't know why.
Yes, this is why
Agreed,
we're watching.
yeah.
You say Creed?
Let's give it.
I said agreed.
I hope it's Creed. Hold me now. I'm 6 feet from the earth, and I'm
Herbie? I don't know who she is.
Maybe 6.
What are you from? The Crown.
Is so far down.
Oh, she was Napoleon.
Man, sorry, that downgrade. Holy shit.
Oh,
robot.
Yeah.
Speaking of AI.
Yeah. Did you guys see that tower? Let me see that tower. Let me
bring back
the
tower, boy. Let me
was
see.
it an Argent tower?
Man, that looks real familiar, don't it?
Is that the tower? Is that accurate, chat?
It's similar. The comics have different designs. It just looks a lot like Avengers Tower. I remember at one point, like, they made a joke about it in a comic. I think it was maybe even a Deadpool comic. He's like, man, there are a lot of, like, specifically named superhero towers in New York.
That's pretty good.
Bill's right. I like them towers. And so does CA.
Yeah. Real quick, we've been kind of dunking on this already, like 15 seconds in, but I like the old timey kind of feel. Like, at least it's different.
Agreed.
Yes.
Even if it's just because it's not the same, I do appreciate it.
I predict a trend of movies doing this, going back to decades before, where everybody has fond memories and fond associations, and to being like, this is a crap movie, nobody's going to like it. Let's set it in a time period they like and try to get certain aspects right enough.
You guys remember when you could be a manager at McDonald's and support a family of 4?
And
let's go back to that.
And on top of that, make a superhero movie called Silver Surfer. I remember that. Because that's who they must have hired for that. I swear to God, some of these, all you gotta do is follow the blueprint, which is the comic book. It's right there. This is the reason I mentioned the tower. It's like this is one of the aspects where it probably should look pretty accurate, right? If they can help it. That's why I was wondering about it. It's kind of like the uniform thing, you know. Look how everybody reacted with the cheesy Wolverine uniform. They loved it. Yeah, it's
that would. But it's true. If they did that in 2000, like 2002, like when the original X-Men came, I don't think people would have been as receptive back
disagree.
then.
I disagree.
Do you?
Would have loved it.
Yeah.
What if
I don't think so, dude? But back then they thought the leather was cheesy.
I will say this: there's a good argument. There's a good argument to be made that the like Iron Man and Infinity War and these major superhero movies are what extended it to the broader culture. So there is that argument to be made that it's because the broader culture is now there that there's enough people to be like, no, we want that, because there's so many normies that are like, oh, just give me anything, you know, just give me.
Except for whoever thought about the plot of Loki. Whoever thought of that, no one wanted that.
I thought you were gonna say Logan. I was like, I love Logan. That was pretty dope. That was pretty good.
I hate that movie.
Yeah, you don't like the little girl?
The burrow getting taken out. You don't do that.
Oh, dude, I'm here for it. It reminded me of a story I would write, like as far as like that perspective of like, oh, okay, I'll do a mutant, but he's like dying even though he has regenerative powers. Like, I don't know. The heart in conflict with itself was there. I'm here for it.
I just want him to whoop everybody and like be like, all right, come on, little girl, let's go get like flurries.
Everybody wanted that.
Let's go McFlurry, yeah, and they just eat McFlurries and high five.
Good
like
shit,
they
man.
put hot dogs on claws
Wait,
and grills
Justin,
them.
did you hate Logan?
Yeah.
Hold on, I have power here. Hold on. Anyway, back to the show.
Proper answer.
Kind of a downer.
And she's back.
How does Logan end?
How does Logan end?
How does it end? What do they do? How does it end? Tell me.
Deadpool.
Oh, I'm so glad there.
That's how it ends. For anyone wondering,
that's there.
The ending, the official canon
ending.
They
get rid of one of my favorite characters ever. Is that what they do? By chance?
Oh, people, Justin, you would hate it. There's there's characters having trouble. They have to like struggle through things. And
that's not struggle. That's getting rid of
Logan is old and having like health problems and like problems instead of being like, you know, like this.
This stuff will make you a damn sexual tyrannosaurus, just like me.
Write anything, and you're like, what if we just make
that? That's canon Logan. That's how Logan's supposed to be.
Yeah.
5'3", more confidence than freaking a governor being in an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie.
What if we just make him like you and me, and he's sad, and then a little girl takes his place?
Also acceptable.
Ugh.
No.
I see your point, Justin, but that movie is great, and you would hate it. Of course you would, because I could have
made it good.
It's like, hey, Justin, have you tried reading Berserk? I think you might like it. No, he will not. He
might.
He will not. Like Justin, that's not actually, Justin, one of these days, I want to show you like the first page or three of. I want to see how many pages you can get through of Berserk before you say, you know what? No. I want to see how many pages. I think you will get past 2 pages, and then you're done.
On page 3, are they hurting women? Because that's pretty much where.
Well, one in the face, kind of.
Well, kind of.
Page 1. Are you
kidding? Really
to C.A. Pence before that, I think she was having an okay time.
No,
page 1.
She trapped him. That was a trap. But
she used she used her body's natural trap. Anyway, let's go.
Yes.
Is he sucking his thumb?
Yeah, I don't like this scene at all.
Like a chef.
The CGI looks weird too. I felt like Thing in the old movie looked better than this guy does.
It looks like a suit in the old one, but this does look more comic accurate.
I feel like some savvy viewers of this could probably screenshot this, take that hand of his, like flip it upside down, and then like put it on some posters and do something with that. I'm pretty sure.
Guys looking at you.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, this is thumbnail gold right here. In fact, I mean, if you just put a little thing, kind of behind his hand, so it's like a miniature thing. Like there you go. There's another one that'll sell tickets, right? right?
You know
This
what? You know what's weird is that this looks like it could be AI generated. I don't think it is.
Right.
But it
It's
looks
hard.
like it could be, right?
Makes me wonder these days, right? This does look more comic accurate, though, right?
It does. It is more comic accurate. It
like
has a
all of
heavier
the-
brow. It's a more like body accurate kind of thing.
Like all of the other main characters and how they are cast and look. Nailed it.
What anime? Just why? Why? I have so many.
Animation knows. Animation knows.
Ding dong, man. Ding
Rock
dong,
hard, brother. Rock hard. All right.
King Kong Ding Dong. Anyway.
He held it there for so long, guys. What was up with that? Hold on.
It's called a pause button, AC.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Did you see that?
This
Did
is
you
gonna
see
get
how long that was?
photoshopped.
He held that there for so long. Okay, they know what they're
Hey
doing.
guys. Anyway, back to it.
Yeah, dude. For real.
No one clipped that out of context, Billy Bob.
Okay, is this guy
Ugh, him.
I don't actually hate he might be
I
the
don't
best
either.
casting actually.
I don't.
And that's
hate
the
him.
problem.
He's just in everything, like you said. It's just annoying seeing him.
You remember when he was that really cool character in Game of Thrones, and then he was also like in a couple other things that were like he's good as a man. Like he's not himself, but he's good as a Mandalorian. He's good as a couple other things. Like for God's sake, dude.
While we got him on screen, who's your guys' favorite Pedro? Since we got a million of them now, who's your favorite?
Mando.
Pedro?
Mando.
Lando.
Wait, how many
Or- wait,
how many
what?
Pedros do we have?
Mando.
Yeah, Mandalorian.
We got a bunch. Just pick anything. that-
No, all of his roles. You mean?
Yeah,
Game
yeah.
of Thrones, easy.
Yeah, same.
He was I think he was the Viper in Game of Thrones. He
Yup.
was from Dorne, and he was there
Yup.
to avenge his baby sister and his nieces and nephews.
He
who
was the
were,
type of character
slaughtered
that
and
he fucked anything. Yeah. He was just like, I'm here.
he was
Everybody
cool,
wants
dude.
me.
I don't
You
care.
want
Like he
me?
was. I don't know what happened. Like they like Caucasianed him when he got to Hollywood, but like in that movie he was like tan as hell, dude. I don't know what happened.
Well, it was an ultimate symbolic battle of like strength versus cunning and kind of, a whole bunch of other shit. Very important battle, not just because it's cool and it's because it's like these two characters. I'm talking about the books also. I mean, the show did.
Yeah, in the books as well. Yeah.
The show did okay. Honestly, it did okay at it. But the books, I mean, like there's just the descriptions. I'm gonna agree with Kahuna. What do you guys say? CA says Mando. What do you say?
Clearly Maxwell Lord from Wonder Woman 1984. Nice try, guys.
Wait, was he in that movie?
win.
Did
I don't
anyone
know. I'm
actually
looking at
watch
a
that
list.
movie?
I don't really watch movies he's in because I'm not a huge fan. But
I think out of all of our characters, Mando probably wins the battle royal, especially since I did a clone. I'll pick Last of Us then for the battle royal, and I think Mando still wins.
I was gonna say, Justin, did you watch Wonder Woman? Were you the one? Or
no, I
what?
saw the first one. I did not watch the second one. And I saw the first season of Mandalorian and was like, "What's the hype about?" And then I stopped.
The Mandalorian.
The hype was
Mandalorian
because they-
season 1 and 2 is a good show with some
Is it?
problems. Season
Is it?
3 is a bad show with some good moments.
Well,
And
dude,
Book of Fett is worse.
the problem too is they weren't making good Star Wars movies.
True.
They weren't
Yep.
making any good Star Wars, and then all of a sudden that comes out, and it kind of felt like old Star Wars. So people were all about it. They threw all their support at it, and then
Yeah,
Disney.
I think
did what
people-
Disney does.
And then they actively walked in your house in like
Yeah.
diarrhea all over your bed. That's what's
It wasn't a red flag for anybody whenever they brought in Baby Greg. Was everybody just like lulled into a sense of whatever by
Did
his
you say
big-
Baby
big energy
Greg?
eyes?
Is that what
Baby
you just
Greg?
said?
Greg
What?
University.
Baby
Greg
Yoda.
Yeah,
Yoda,
guys, like
whatever.
Baby Yoda, Greg.
Baby
That's his
old
name.
Greg.
His name's Greg Yu, right?
Baby old Greg. Go.
Greg's
Grogu.
Groggy? Baby
It's
Groggy?
Grogu,
I don't know.
Grogu, not Greg.
I know what they want it to be. It's like Timothy
You
Chalamet.
guys
Your
know
name's
from The
Tommy
Mandalorian,
Champagne.
Greg.
I'm
Little
young
baby.
Greg.
Baby
I'm
Greg.
young
No,
Greg.
thank you. Hard pass. If it was just
Yeah.
Mandalorian and another Mandalorian, and they're just like, let's be like cowboy stuff, and they're high fiving.
No, Grogu was good, but he should not have stuck around. That story should have ended, and they should have done something different.
He
I'm
should have
here
been
for it.
aborted.
I'm here
Yeah,
for
no,
it.
like once he gave spoilers for season 2. Once he gives Grogu to Luke, that should have been the end of Grogu on the show.
That's
Oh,
true.
that's a good place to end it, actually, for Grogu.
Mhm.
Because the only other alternative is that Grogu is what the show is named after, is in fact the Mandalorian.
Or he's Darth
Um,
Grogu.
Yeah, and all that stuff.
It's like make
Yeah,
him
yeah.
armor. It won't take very much.
Because I mean, if you pass him off to Luke, then you can at least pass the story of Grogu and the character of Grogu off to as competent writers as you can find. To be honest, because
Or you could just like fire him into a black hole and then just pretend he never existed.
never touch the character again.
I'm also going to say something
interested again.
controversial here. The Luke scene at the end of season 2 of Mandalorian was the last great Star Wars thing ever put to film. Nothing has
happened?
been good since.
I didn't make it.
First part.
Yeah, where's
they're like, so Justin, they're all in trouble. They're surrounded by like these robot kind of versions of the stormtroopers that are like almost invulnerable to invulnerable to most weapons and are very dangerous and they're high tech. And then all of a sudden they sent out like a distress call that they sent out a while ago. Luke shows up and he just butchers all of them. He comes in, he's
before or
wise.
after he's drinking the milk?
Before the milk. The milk never happened, Justin.
No, I mean in our timeline. Like after that character, was it already
after that.
Oof. Ouch.
Because,
I don't know if I'm into it.
What, you were into the milk?
No, it was pre-milk.
You can interpret it however you want.
Pre-milk. Because he's young.
What happened to the creator of Battsauce? We still make Battsauce on the regular. That's neither here nor there. But I think you're talking about Battsauce. Bats. He has a little baby Bats coming out. He will be born with a cigar and a hat, obviously.
What's the release date?
Any day now, basically. He had a weird moment after the stream. Like I think last time he was like, "Oh wait, guys, I just kind of realized I'm about to have a kid. I gotta go.
Like a month.
I gotta like step out for a minute." So like ever since then, he's been gone, and like Caroline's been more active in the Discord than he has, which is pretty fun.
Yeah, and technical difficulties, nothing to do with any of that. Everything.
Yeah, no, it's been completely fine.
Totally fine.
Anyway, this is what's going to happen when he's born.
Son of a bitch.
Gee, that's what I want in movies again, man. Bros high-fiving.
Oh yeah.
That's a good movie. But Justin, that's a contradiction. Arnold does slap the living piss out of her in that movie. Women getting hurt. You can't watch it. I get it. Arnold slaps the living piss out of that.
And he rolls out.
Doom.
You can already see like all the aesthetic, Evalie, if you noticed. Like all the Star Wars aesthetic is there. That's what the hubbub is about, you know what I mean? And then like Yoda, there's people who grew up with Yoda and then here they are, they can give Yoda to their kids. There's a bunch of stuff at play here. It's marketing. There is actually some good writing until it's bad. But yeah, here, check it out. Understandable.
Yeah, it's neat. It's a neat scene.
Let's see. There's one here. There's light on Luke right now in that scene. If you shine a light on Luke in that scene, he has the same silhouette as Luke.
Oh, sweet.
Because of the way the hood is pulled up and everything.
It's why they make him try to look like?
Well, I don't know. Why are they painting him as a bad guy? That is actually a really good fucking question, Evalie. Why? What's up with that?
They probably wanted to look like Vader because he was kind of, growing up.
Well, also because he is a hero, but these characters don't know that at first. Like this mysterious person shows up. It's who Grogu reached out to with the Force, and they have no idea what's going on. This is the first real Jedi they've had an encounter with on this show.
That's true.
And so that's
yeah.
And this is showing Luke like at the height of his power. This isn't young Luke trying to figure out our old Luke drinking milk out of the tin.
He grew a mustache. That guy. He's gonna use the Force to help.
Look, Grogu's in this show too.
Yeah. Yep.
Not because it's not delicious. I just want to add a little.
What? Okay, his voice. I don't know about this. I don't know about the voice.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't like anything.
Yeah,
the voice sucks.
Yep. Oh, I like baking. Do you like baking? Oh, baking's fun.
They have all this technology and he's still using a blackboard. I even wanted that.
I like that a lot.
It's the 60s Kahuna, right?
They have a flying car. What do you mean?
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Everyone had flying
You're not
cars
wrong.
back then.
I just like it.
You're right. Okay.
Did you not watch the Jetsons?
Right.
Oh, dude, yeah, Jetsons, good show.
Yeah.
Careful with these movies, guys. Elon Musk might see something. He's like, you know what? I think I might actually be able to make that happen.
He should make a flying car, damn it.
I know for a fact.
You know, actually, I want a Tesla lawnmower.
No,
is what
this
I
is
want.
Well,
I know for a
like,
fact this.
you can get a
this costume
flamethrower.
design-
Oh, yeah, that'd be a cool way to cut the grass.
This costume design here is right out of the comic books.
The
I know
neighbors
for a
would be
fact.
like, "What's that
Because
fella up to?"
even as a not like as a layman when it comes to the comics, I can recognize this. So I know this is probably a huge. This is what the thing looks like, 100% right here. Pretty sure.
Yeah, no, they got the thing right in this. Yeah, at least visually.
His voice though.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, they had the voice right in the original 2000s movies for sure.
They did. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, Mikey Chicklets.
Mm,
Oh, what's that guy looking at?
yeah.
Boobies.
Friendship wiener.
He's looking at
Oh,
one
he
of them
just checked it.
friendship
He did.
wieners.
He looked down. He just checked.
Reed Richards stretching out that friendship wiener. He's like, "What are you doing, dude?"
Does this guy,
He's
this
looking
shot-
down. Oh my goodness!
He looks like E.T. on roids.
Yeah. This is. Is this
Right
the
teeth?
thing? This is the
Wait,
thing
no. This is ET on crack, dude. He's crack. Anyway,
Yeah. He
Oh, hey, but
type and then just turned into the thing.
Terrible Sue Storm. She looks old.
oh,
Yeah.
Stone, I don't like either. Too serious.
Hmm. This is Johnny, right? Okay. All right.
on fire, yeah. If someone else is on fire, they're having a real bad day.
Or he's just stuck in space and just like floats off.
Is
in
this
the vacuum.
clipping for everyone else? I'm seeing like still frames every 15
Sue Storm.
seconds.
I thought you were pausing it.
I'm pausing it.
Oh, fireworks.
Everything's
It's so we don't
clipping.
get copyright.
Clipping.
I do like
Okay.
the car lad. That car's
Yeah.
The
cool.
car is cool.
Yeah.
It's like an old Batmobile that was a little homosexual.
Was that Gandalf? What's he doing there?
I thought the same thing. Was that Gandalf?
Quick, the Balrog is coming.
Whoa.
At least they got Galactus right.
Yes.
Gandalf. Look at that.
Wait,
Look at
hang
that.
on. Was that guy?
Yes.
John Malkovich?
From Malkovich?
Oh no! This
What?
Galactus is coming.
What is that silhouette look like? It totally looks like a demon. Right?
I was thinking steering wheel for a
It
cool car.
looks like what I see on the floor before I get into a shower.
Yeah, when you stand up and Yup.
It has
You got it.
horns?
You see on the bottom left, bottom right, those are the Kahunas are coming out too. Come on,
That's his
we're
piercing.
all
That's his
having a
piercing.
party here.
Oh,
That's
it's got a Prince
piercing.
Albert.
Yeah, it's just Prince Albert. Yeah,
Why is it pronged?
it's for her pleasure. Anyway. So yeah, that's what Galactus is supposed to look like. I think we pulled that picture up earlier, and then here's a good size
Yeah.
comparison, like roughly the size of the Sentinels from X-Men, right?
Kind of like
Over-
a giant spoon. He just starts
Way bigger.
eating the ground.
He can be like that. He kind of cheats. He can be bigger or smaller depending
Yeah.
on the need. And it's like most of the time when he shows up on a world, like heroes or not, like that world is basically doomed at least half the time. But then occasionally it's like Thor's like, all right, I'm gonna fight him off on my own because that's who I am, and I love that in the comics.
So
Because
who's
that's
gonna
what's scary.
voice this guy here? Who's
That's
I don't
voicing
think
him?
he has a voice.
Pedro Pascal is also.
What?
Galactus.
He's everyone.
Yeah, probably.
It's everyone. Yeah.
Probably. Is this it? Yeah, that's it.
That's
okay.
it.
Boom.
We're just gonna play the game.
Done. No more copyright. There we go. Cool.
All right.
Bum, bum, bum.
I get nervous, guys. But hey, it
Mhm.
doesn't matter. Worst case scenario, we just like clip the sound out. I think YouTube does it automatically. But yeah, what do you guys
we
think?
should be fine.
There was some pluses and minuses. I think.
I am the eater of worlds. You cannot stop me. I've sent forth my minions to destroy you, my avatars of the different elements. And my mighty silver surfer, I'm gonna consume your world.
Anyway, that's Galactus.
You know, it wouldn't surprise me, honestly.
He's gonna
I mean,
leave there, lift up a giant one
No.
of these, and just be like,
Galactus is going to be played by like Angelina Jolie or Zendaya. Zendaya is
Yeah, Zendaya.
Galactus.
"It's Zendaya." Yes.
I feel the same way about this trailer as I do the new Superman movie. I don't really care. I'm not convinced it's going to be amazing. I think people are so thirsty for something that just isn't trash that they're like, this is going to be great. And I just
I'm
don't
Be
know.
fantastic.
I've
No,
watched
not even
I've
going-
watched
not-
the new
not gonna do it.
Superman trailer, and I don't hate it.
I don't like guns, so
Yeah,
I'm
compared
like,
to the
it's gonna be a
Superman,
tough sell for me anyways.
Superman one. It's like
I like guns. All
I
of the
could
guns.
see
No,
this being
the guy, not the firearms. The fella. What's his name? It's not Peter Gunn. James Gunn. Old Jimmy Gunn.
Jackson
Even his
Gunn.
real name. Did he make that fake name for himself? That wouldn't surprise me.
Probably.
Yeah. But yeah, I think compared to Superman, right? I think that's Kahuna made a good point by bringing that up. That's like a good comparison to another movie. I think it has potential to be epic, but like some of the stuff, like the Thing's voice, it bugs me. But at the same time, he's kind of
If the
supposed
movie's
to be
good, the voice won't matter.
True.
Dark Knight Returns
Right.
proved that.
That's true. Yeah. That's true.
I was afraid of the dark.
Which gets on your fangs,
I'm Dan Hardy, and I just have to do a different voice than normal.
to you?
What doesn't kill you only makes you a stranger.
You
Now, is this-
were in the dark, but I was there first.
I'm gonna throw out a prediction. Does Fantastic Four, the new one, end with a baking scene with the Thing?
I hope so.
That's
I
what
hope
I'm
so.
predicting is the closing, like it's like the stinger or something, or the closing, like the
giant
happy
cake.
little
It's,
note to end
like
on.
I feel like the studios are trying to bring us back, but it's too much too soon. I don't trust that they're going to get it right.
Yep.
It's like I want the new Superman film to be good. I desperately want it to be good. I just don't trust that it's going to be. Dude.
No, they're gonna instead of going
Same
back
thing
here
here.
where they need to, they're gonna go to here and hope that's good enough. That's what
Hold
they're
on,
gonna do.
hold on. We
Zack
got a traitor in the
Uh-oh.
chat. Dark Knight
Oh,
Rises
no.
sucks so. How
Grounded.
dare you,
Grounded.
Bill?
Zack
How
Snyder was
dare
onto
you.
something. Zack Snyder was onto something with Man of Steel in trying to make it basically the DBZ live action movie that we all have wanted this whole time.
It wasn't.
It's just if it was if it was done by somebody who like deeply loves Superman though, with like
He
kind
did
of that.
that's the thing. He wanted to do Batman, but he couldn't because
Right.
like it was when the Nolan trilogy was still going on. And he does like Zack Snyder fundamentally did. He's great with imagery, which is good for Superman, but he fundamentally did not understand the character.
Yeah,
Like a good Superman story is actually hard to tell. It's way harder than a good Batman story,
100%,
in my
yeah.
opinion.
Yep.
But
Yep.
it's you really need to understand the character and why that character is important if you're going to do a Superman film.
Yeah,
Aren't
and
they
he
doing
didn't even do
Supergirl movie
like-
too?
yeah.
I heard something about that.
What?
No,
Yeah.
it's going to be a Power Girl movie. It's going to be Sydney Sweeney because
Yes.
I thought there was a movie coming out that they had a writer for it, and she has like no credits. Damn.
Anyway. Yeah.
What we can do?
She has social credit.
So I mentioned the antithesis of the semen symbol, the silver semen or whatever.
Silver Season.
Abortion. Tell us about abortion, CA. Let's get into your project here.
Last thing. Animation Overload brings up a really good point. All-Star Superman is the GOAT. It's one of the best Superman comics, and maybe it's the best like on-screen representation of Superman besides the original Christopher Reeves. Anyway,
I do like some Doomsday though, and I do like what's that one where
Doomsday is fun.
It is Doomsday where he has to demonstrate that why he doesn't kill people or whatever. And yeah. Doomsday's pretty dope.
Public Enemies is an interesting comic to explore the differences between Batman and Superman, but the movie's kind of meh. Basically, Superman and Batman take on every hero and every villain just with them two.
Neat.
For a while. And it's great.
Bring up Herman's comment and then we'll go to CA.
Oh! Why? Why would you make me do that?
Because it felt good. Yeah.
Take your stinking paws off me, you damn dirty ape!
You're right, Herman. You're right.
Herman,
You're right.
I don't even know what to say. Highlander better than Dark Knight?
Easily.
I'm not not even the Dark Knight Rises. You're saying the Dark Knight?
Oh, I thought you said Dark Knight Rises.
To be
No,
fair,
he said the Dark Knight. That's
to be fair,
I think I'm still on his team, but it's a little bit more iffy.
there's a bunch of movies that are better than The Dark Knight. It's just very few movies are better than the Joker's performance in The Dark Knight.
The Dark Knight is a very I like Dark Knight Rises better, but I know it's not as good of a film. I just like it better for my own personal reasons.
That's good. Yeah. Anyway.
Based.
Good night. Good.
I missed these clips.
I know, like this is kind of old school going back. That intro was so long. I forgot how long that intro was. I think until we figure out what's wrong with the other studio, I need to bring over some of like our new intro and a few other things over to this one.
Do it. Yeah.
That was.
I honestly, I don't really mind the StreamYard watermark right here in this area.
Plus, when I clip it, I just put my beautiful face.
Oh
up
yeah,
there anyway.
you could slap a flag over it easily.
Yeah, we could put a fat flag over it as well. We could just put Matt's face up there anyway.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's good for all that. But I figure it's a good time. We should talk about CA's book and Grimdark on the hole, the hole, around the hole.
Grimdark in the hole. Yes. Yeah, but how many holes?
Well, you saw that product, quite a few, more than there should have been.
Yes, definitely.
All
right. Well,
sorry, that was a hell of a segue. Anyway, hey, now we're done talking about Japanese toys and grimdark holes. Tell us about your book.
I mean, it's actually a good segue. It fits pretty well.
It does. You stole that clip from me talking about reading it a while back. That was pretty good.
I did. Yeah. I should have sent you guys that clip and could have played it.
Yeah, that's true.
Basically, just call me crazy again. That's close enough.
Oh yeah. So, it's pretty dark, pretty crazy. A lot going on. That girl, longevity. Anyway. Sorry,
Which
Justin. Book may not be for you. That's
it sounds like it's not going to be up my alley.
It's not.
We're
gonna give Justin like Vietnam flashbacks.
Basically. Yeah. So that the Shadows of the Argent Tower, that's gonna be coming out pretty soon. Kahuna here read the prologue. I'll probably have to link it on my social media so you guys can see that again. But
I would be down for Kahuna to read the blurb at the end of
at
some point.
I'll bring it up. You guys ask questions and talk.
That's Loki. I love when
wrong thing.
I love doing that on streams. It's pretty awesome.
Sweet. Assuming it's even still up anymore, but yeah. So, like they're saying, grimdark story, kind of set in the it's a fantasy world that has advanced to modern levels of technology. So you still have your cars, cell phones, and other things like that, but they're all run by magic instead of electricity and whatnot. And follows Alessa. She's trying to join the Argent Tower of the title. And
what was that full title again? Sorry, it's not bringing it up.
The problem, so I fucked that up. That's on me because when I put up for pre-order, I did not meet the pre-order date, so it took it down.
Oh no!
I know.
Of the Ardent Tower, Argent.
Argent, Argent.
Gent. Okay, yeah, there it is. Tower.
Yar.
There we go.
Found it, huh?
No.
Nope. Okay. Let's do this another way.
Okay.
I tossed the Discord link in the chat and also CA Pence's website in the chat.
There you
pretty
go.
Cool that you got your own website, capenceauthor.com. That's pretty awesome. I look forward to ironseas.com or whatever at some point. It might be happening sooner than later, but yes. Tell us more about Argent Tower.
So like, yeah, it's following Alessa. She ends up getting involved with a bunch of demons that are kidnapping women off the street.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, pregnant women specifically.
Oh no.
This is Justin's worst nightmare.
It really is.
It's like every time you've heard Justin talk about things he can't stand in movies, it's like, why did I put all of those things in my book?
Although usually the chat wholeheartedly disagrees with me on everything, so they're probably perking up like, oh, he doesn't like it? Ooh. Might be good then.
Yeah. Except for Highlander, some weird yokel oddballs out there all agree with you. Oh, Lord.
And Ernest. Don't forget Ernest.
It's a good movie.
Hey, there we go. I love the art you got here on the header.
Sorry, let me fix this.
Like
okay. And better. Anyway, AC, how do we
With the there's like the huge storm clouds. You get the tower in the background, the contrast of her golden hair, and she's got that stare. Like, yeah, like just confidence. The powers in her hands.
Oh, do you got an image of that, Evalie?
Demon arms flying off. Yeah, it's up on the website that you put in the link there. If you click it in the chat, it'll bring it right up.
Yeah, I'll pull that up here.
It's a cool picture.
Oh yeah.
Thanks. I
Yeah, and then I'll
admittedly
share
go back and forth on the cover whether I like it or not. To be honest.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I think it's cool.
That
but I
happened.
don't know if it's a good thing or
Before
bad
you release the book, you will feel like that until it's there.
Fair enough.
thing. Did you put the cover together
I
yourself?
like it. It's still cool.
No, it was this guy named Jay Caleb. He actually did. He also did John's cover too for the Black Crown.
Oh, the Black Crown.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Oh,
black.
cool.
I loved that cover. That cover was.
So this is pretty
fantastic.
official then, right?
Oh yeah, that's
Oh, yeah.
definitely it.
Sick.
Better than me. I hired an AI artist on accident recently. That was fun.
Oh jeez, that sucks.
I know. They've gotten better.
Yep.
It's true.
Better at tricking anyway. But yeah,
Mm.
they showed progress pictures, dude.
Oh jeez, that's terrible.
See, that's a problem. That's a problem. But this is real. Not needing to. It's like, speaking of AI art. How is this? No.
Yeah, I need to update the site a little bit and start doing stuff. But you can see some of the character art that I've been posting every once in a while.
It's cool because they kind of remind. It almost feels more superhero-ish a little bit, like based on like the art a little bit.
I use a lot of
but
comic book artists, so
Yeah. It's like comic book artists have trouble like doing fantasy because they're used to like the superhero pose. It's like fantasy poses are a little different. But
they can be. Yeah.
Yeah, no, for
It
sure.
works with my my story because it is a different setting. It's not just your average fantasy. So
Is it like the that Will Smith urban fantasy movie? It's like
Blade.
you got
well,
you got orcs in the ghetto, but black people also still exist, and make no sense.
I mean, kinda, kinda yes, but also kinda no. I mean, it's kind of a similar feel
So
to
it's
it in a way.
a higher testosterone version of Bright.
Yeah, except woman's the main character, I guess.
Yeah.
So
Higher testosterone. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I mean, Will Smith whines like a woman sometimes.
Yep.
well, he's the woman in the relationship. So
So, CA, level with me. If someone in this world of yours theoretically were to look up prawn, would Tusk be a category, or is that like
Tusk prawn? I mean, it's possible.
It's like hentai tusk prawn. Yeah.
I mean, none of the races I have tusks. So
Do you?
Oh, okay.
Do you have orcs though?
no, there's no orcs.
Do you have?
I thought you had orcs. Okay, that's
Nope,
my
there are
bad.
no orcs. Unfortunately,
I assumed the orcs were coming back.
Well, since they
Apparently I was
don't
wrong.
exist, that means if you ever did introduce a type of orc, it would probably be like a demonic, the demonic variant, where
True.
it's like,
Yeah, it would be much cooler.
yeah,
Yeah.
it'd be, that's cool. So
yeah,
yeah,
the demons would probably create tusks in people because they can modify
Yeah.
your body if they possess
be-
you. So
they'd be little demon people for sure.
Oh my
Little demon
lord,
people.
guys! I didn't see, but in the
though.
Discord since we've started, Bill has been posting the F out of all of these memes, and they're
Oh.
all great.
Line them up. We'll go over them quick. We'll do a meme review after we learn about the Argent Tower.
speaking
And
of,
what-
I sent my cover over to you, AC, and the blurb to you, Kahuna.
Yeah, I saw that.
Alright, cool.
I'll read it here when near the end.
Okay, sounds good.
But yeah, how did you decide where to draw the line when it comes to your story and like how dark it was going to get? Because like some authors start off at a certain place and they get darker and darker, and others kind of like whatchamacallit, Mura with Berserk and you with this. I feel like you guys kind of had like a shocking scene to get you started.
Well, actually, technically, that prologue is the shocking scene to get me started. Technically speaking, I didn't have that prologue wasn't originally in the story, but I realized that the beginning was a little too easy to get into, if you know what I'm saying. Everlay probably would like the beginning a little bit for a bit,
All right.
and then he'd be tricked, and then
Oh,
So I made the prologue to be the way it is, to be that violence, to show people what you're getting into, so you don't just dive in and.
You can close the book now or continue forward. Yep.
Pretty much. That's. What's
It's funny.
Let's ask Justin a question regarding that. Justin,
he's
if
a valuable
book is
resource.
going to be a certain level of like grimdark and messed up. Would you rather have a scene in the beginning that kind of like is a litmus test? Like, if you can't handle this, you won't like the rest of this book.
Yeah, I think a barometer, or even just to have somebody more preferable, would be someone being like, yeah, you know.
If I ever write a children's book, I'm going to consult you because I need to know.
But yeah,
I'm actually thinking I should like pay you or something for even being willing to read my novel. Jeez.
Okay, if you're like going out on a date and at the end like you have a good time and then a lady hits you in the face with a hammer, wouldn't you rather have her hit you at the front of the date? So you're like,
I thought this whole scenario was going a wildly different direction. I'm glad that you only whipped out a hammer, dude. Justin, what I'm saying is there are worse surprises. There are much worse things you can
hammer to the face is pretty rough, but yeah, it's like
I'm in book construction. I've had a hammer to the face. I'd rather have that.
Than a pingus? Friendship wiener?
And then she's like,
rather.
Anyway, would you like my
friendship wiener?
My friendship wiener.
I need to get that clip uploaded.
Yeah.
Oh Lord, it's great.
So yes, up front's better, so people know what they're getting into. And yeah, that way you're not totally blindsided at some point later on. Because I can't remember. I feel like most books do give you something. I've read several where there's a point early on, but then the other thing is too is I've read a couple where they're like, if you got past that, there's nothing that bad for the rest of the way, and then I'm like, okay,
yeah.
Then I'm like in the clear.
See, and
I don't feel like it's gonna get worse.
I don't feel like I wounded you enough in the first chapter, Evalie. I start the whole book off with like a pregnant lady puking, and I still don't think that's enough. See,
biscuit slurry.
Yeah, the biscuit slurry.
Now you all know too.
Yeah.
Again,
I think I should have.
I was literally eating breakfast
already early on. Yeah.
I should have did worse. I should have just like did something horrible right off the bat and just like waited for the reviews to pour in.
You could do the thing. You could do the thing they do in Dark Age by Pierce Brown. You guys aren't there yet, so I'm not going to spoil it. But it was a lot.
We'll get there. Yeah.
Sweet. That's
Justin's like reading the second book. He's like, "This is too much." A girl got hurt. I'm like, "Don't read. Keep reading."
She didn't get hurt. It was way worse than that. We can't downplay how bad.
First of all,
like scraped.
She was a soldier. Secondly, she had her head bashed in by a large leopard lady. It's not her fault.
Leopard ladies do that, man.
She should be at home, like in a blanket by a fire, being safe, not on the battlefield.
She's 7 foot tall. I don't want to hear it.
That's nature.
Damn.
Leopard ladies
not
be like
dainty, that. Justin. She's a soldier. She killed someone.
I don't like
natural selection.
He's like, yeah, I didn't really like that either. I remember Justin texted me. He's like, or messaged me. He's like, yeah, my wife said she's never heard me complain this much while reading a book before.
Yeah, she's like, I've never seen you this upset about a book. And I'm like, hey, you know what happened? She's like, yeah, she told me like 50 times what happened. Yes, I know what happened. Like, just stop reading it. I was like, all right.
Looks over.
That's a fairly accurate recreation. That was pretty accurate. About out went down. I'm like, you know what? I need to. And the thing is, I took a break, and then I felt bad. I'm like, I'm not being a team player. Like, Kahuna, this is his favorite book. I'm gonna get back in. I'm gonna get another shot. And I make it to the end of that chapter, and something else happened. I'm like, we're done. I tried. I really
like 4 pages later, and he's like, nah, never mind. I'm
just like, Pierce, buddy. Like, why? Dude, just take it down a notch. You don't got to keep doing this. He's like,
no, don't.
He was working through some shit.
Take it up.
No,
a notch.
he wants us to. We're the audience. He wants us to go on this emotional roller coaster with Darrow, and whether you like it or not, it is effective that way. But
the emotion I have is anger at Pierce for putting that imagery in my mind. It has nothing to do with the story at all at that point. I'm just mad
at the golds. You're angry at the golds.
Yeah,
I'm mad at Pierce.
Would you have cried if it was a red child?
The real guy.
Would you have cried if it was a red woman?
You know, that's a superpower that authors have. Technically, we could hover around people and just describe disgusting things in their ear.
Yes.
Yes, we could be like, with the texture like this, sloshing around on your tongue, and like it tastes like
or
sour.
It tastes like Slurpee.
Sauce,
like delicious cherry cola, Slurpee,
corpulence,
rainbow flavor.
You just used disgusting words. Wetness.
Tastes like decay.
I like wetness. That's not bad.
Moist decay.
Not
moist
when
is
it's
good
like,
too.
not when we're talking about like biscuits, right? Like you like that
No,
wet
moist
biscuit
biscuits are
slurry,
nice.
brother. You like that.
Whenever you're referring to a woman vomiting and you call it biscuit slurry, then it's gross. But if I'm having a meal and it's a moist biscuit, then I'm okay with it.
What if it's moist
vomit? Here's the difference with a guy. It's with a woman. It's that's the difference, just in the tone.
Yeah. So tell us about the Argent Tower. What makes it special?
Oh yeah, that's what we were talking about. So the Argent Tower is where the wizards actually practice their magic and study and collect. That's where they have their guilds and basically run everything. So everyone wants to be part of the Argent Tower because that's where all the magic happens.
Sweet. And can you practice magic outside of there, or is it just?
It's illegal.
Oh, so you can.
Oh, it's illegal. So you basically is it like you have to work for the government kind of thing to be able to use
basically.
magic?
Oh yeah,
fine.
Yeah.
Except
so it's like Harry Potter.
Kind of, but
kind
not.
of.
That's exactly.
I love your delivery. Like kind of, not at all, but kind of.
Yes,
in
but
fact,
also no.
A little bit, but like not at all. Yeah.
Yes, but you're completely wrong.
Yes. So you get like government appointed wizards.
Sorry, they heard me say Harry Potter. They had to.
Oh no!
It.
Whoops.
Anyway,
you'll get that.
No, no Harry Potter here. No, technically they're not the government, so they are their own force essentially. The
privatized,
lords,
right?
Yeah,
Okay.
basically.
Yeah.
I mean, the lords in the area would like them to fall, to actually fall in line and do what they tell them, but they won't. So there's a bit of a power struggle between the government and the wizards.
Now these these privatized wizards.
All right, say something.
Do they go on quests like Witcher style? Oh wait.
If you ever need a Lego master, this ask me.
Yep.
Fantastic.
Thank
Perfect.
you.
On it.
Thank you, son. Go this way. Go this way. I love you, Bubba. Anyway,
Very nice.
I let him say what he wanted to say, and he shilled for himself. Better than Daniel. Anyway.
Yes. So do they go do like some witchering or like some dungeon diving maybe? What are some stuff that these special people do?
Okay, so there's about 9 different guilds, and they all kind of do their own thing. The main ones that you'll see in the book are the Silver Mage Knights, and they specifically hunt down demons. That's why Alessa gets involved with them.
That's the Gooning Guild. Yes.
The Gooning Guild. Yes, that's definitely one of them.
What is that? Constantine, right? So like kind of like Constantine, but like way cooler because they're actually fighting demons.
Yes, like Constantine.
But they're fighting demons. They're not just like performing an exorcism.
Well, no, they don't fight demons but they used to fight demons. They don't fight demons as much in the modern day as they used to.
Because they're mostly gone at this point.
But they can.
They're around. They just are useless now and more political.
Oh, okay, so they're a little clever. They're a little more sneaky.
That's what we call those. We call those future plot points. That's what Chekhov's gun. As soon as that's the thing about fantasy. I love it. As everything you lay out, like if there's some sort of implication that something might be the case, you're gonna have to apply pressure to that leak at some point.
Yeah, definitely.
And you can do it in a fun way. It doesn't mean it has to be a normal part of your world, but like some things are worth highlighting just to have a cool spin-off story, right?
Definitely. Oh, there's plenty of that.
Yeah.
There's a whole lot of things going on in that world, so you could pretty much make any kind of story that you want with the different factions that are going on. Which
is the story inherently pessimistic?
I'd say it's sort of
or nihilistic, perhaps.
I wouldn't say nihilistic. Like Alessa herself is a very hopeful character. Her whole intent is she wants to join the tower, become a wizard, and just help the world. Yeah. But the world's just kind of shitty, so she has a hard time doing that. That's
if she's trying though, because I've had some I really like Joe Abercrombie and his writing, but
Right.
like by the end of that first trilogy, like I hate all of you now. Wow.
Oh, yeah.
This isn't
You
how I
need
wanted
Black
to end
Company.
this story.
They're
You
all
need to
terrible
we need to do
characters.
the Black Company after the Red Rising series because
I've read the first book. It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's some
It's
good
pretty
stuff, man. They have a way of being grimdark without like depressing you, I guess.
Right.
Actually, before we do that, we need to read a book Justin can read.
Yes.
I have a couple of children's stories. I have the three pigs and the magical shark.
Chronicles of Narnia.
I have a few others.
I don't
Chronicles
think
of
you can read
Narnia.
anything on my shelf. Not a thing.
Berserk.
Not this. Not this. Maybe no, not that.
What we're trying to say.
You did read this, and then he got you at the end, didn't he?
Oh, he got me at the beginning. I was driving
Dude.
to work. It was 9 in the morning, and he hit me with that stuff. I was like,
That's
dude,
how he
come
starts.
What we're
I
trying to
know.
say.
It's the
What we're trying to say, Evalie, is we'll try really hard to not torture you, like make it not a meme to torture you with.
The thing is, like, you can have these things in your book. I'm just like, sometimes the detail that's gone into it's like, I understood what was happening without needing to do all that. And it's
Would
like,
it make a
why are you
difference
doing that to me?
if they weren't really human?
Cats. I mean, it's a little bit better, I guess, but I
That
don't
had
want
to
to read
sink
about
in for a
cats
second.
either.
I was like,
Now I'm just picturing Idris Elba and Taylor Swift.
All of the cat lovers in our chat are like, oh no,
Dog gang. Am I right?
made it worse.
Dog gang.
Alpha dogs, right?
Oof, oof,
Right?
oof. Yeah.
Dog supremacy. I mean,
I kind of feel like Justin could maybe read this. I feel like you could
Probably.
Yeah, I have it. It's like that thick.
Yeah.
So it's gonna take me a long time. I still gotta get through Joe's book too.
Damn boys!
you know, I can proudly say that Justin got through my book, so it was, I was probably, it was a little thick at times, probably, but I don't think you'll have a problem with the novel. And if you do, it's good to know, right? Because
I'm up
in
to
the process
chapter
of editing it. So.
11, I think.
That's good. There's
On-
only
on-
there's only like 33. So
On the
something like that.
huge version, it's like page 280 or something.
Huge.
Amazing. So you got good progress in there.
I'm chipping away.
Yeah.
Chipping away.
You got past. Do you think? Okay. Yeah, I'll talk to you about that later. That's not
Right.
CA.
What?
So they're mainly
Yes.
slaying demons. That's what they're going out and doing.
Well, they're trying.
Okay.
They're trying to slay demons.
And then there's probably obviously like corruption and stuff within the tower and like some politics going
bunch.
on. Yeah.
Like
as you do.
the guilds are constantly at each other's throats, trying to one up each other.
Yeah. Yep. So is it? What is it called? Corporate. There's a term for it. It's like corporatocracy. Is it like more of a corporatocracy then? Like these guilds have more power than the lords.
Yeah, it feels like a corporatocracy, but the wizards aren't incorporated, so they're not technically like a.
This isn't the business. We just work together and make money and control products and money and information. It's not a corporation.
No, not at all.
Also, AC wearing McCoppin's shirt. Based.
Oh, nice.
Based.
Very nice.
Yeah, very based. AC.
That's how it's done.
I like to sometimes whenever his green screen goes off, it looks like whenever Dr. Doom blasted that guy in the parking garage. So it's it's thematic, which is nice.
So CA, is there a book you would compare to yours tonally or visually that would be a good or interesting comparison?
Honestly, I wish. I've been trying to find something that I could compare it to. But
Dude,
it's
right?
Kind of its own thing.
That's a good and a bad thing. It depends.
Yeah.
It's harder to market in some ways, but it's
Very.
also unique. So you'll pull that may be enough to pull people in.
Maybe. Got my fingers crossed on that one, but yeah. It's in.
Do you have
I feel like I did pre-order it, but it probably got canceled.
Yeah, it probably said no. Yeah, my bad.
It's like, bro, I've ordered this book like 3 times.
That being said, and I mean to post on my social media, anyone who did pre-order that, reach out to me. When it comes out, I will give you a free copy.
Oh, sick.
No, I'll just buy it. I want to support my my negas.
You can buy it too. You can buy it too, but I'll also give you a free copy. How about that?
Okay.
Oh, both.
There we go.
Okay, yeah.
There we go.
Good deal.
I'll let my son read it.
I was gonna.
Yeah, totally. Child approved. No, don't let your kids read that. Never do that.
My son's gonna come on just.
He's got My Chemical Romance Legos. What happened? Why is
Yup. That's what it would be. MCR Legos.
Doing the
So-
Black Parade.
So,
Yes, yes.
so this tower, you said it's like an academy, right? There's nothing special about the
It
placement.
is Trump the wizard at the top of the tower? Welcome
be.
to the Argent Tower.
You know, if he was, you would move a lot of units, I bet.
This is frankly the biggest tower. It's way bigger, way taller than the other
His
towers.
name is on the back of the tower. You
It's
just
very
can't see them
black. It's
covered
very
to the other
tall.
side.
You got a lot of wizards. The only place where you can find wizards, frankly. Oh,
No,
Lord.
Trump's the king.
What's happening with the tower? Why
Yeah,
why is my name not on it?
Does the king chill out on top of the tower then? Is that
Definitely
he's
not.
up
Wizards definitely don't let him go there.
how does? Oh, okay, gotcha. It's a wizard, literally the wizard tower. Do you implement any cool stuff with like the tower tarot card?
No, not yet. I've played around with some images for tarot cards, with AI mostly, but I haven't really done much with that idea.
When you do your final edit pass through, like bust out a couple interpretations of the tower and then maybe a few pieces of art, and then just kind of stare at it while you're editing and see if there's any sort of different descriptions you could do, or like maybe add a sentence here and there that can like really polish it off, because it's called the Argent Tower. I don't know.
Oh, I gotcha. Well, like there's definitely imagery of the tower written in there, and I think I brought it out pretty well with the. It's because the story takes place in the city of Asden, and the Argent Tower is in the center of the city of Asden. You can pretty much see it everywhere.
Actually, we're gonna rename it. It's gonna be New Trump. That's the city now.
New Trump.
Yeah. New
Yes,
Trumpland.
sure. Why not?
Yeah.
Why not, dude? I'm sorry. I got good at the voice. Now it seems like everyone can do the voice now, but I love that. I love
His
that.
voice
Anyway.
stands out. That's why.
No one talks like this. No, not one. You wouldn't. I've seen other people try to talk like this.
Some say the most impressions I've ever heard. I say, they say it. I don't say it. They say it. Anyway, the Argent Tower. What were you saying? It's in the middle of Asden.
So it's in the center. It's down the island in the center of the city of Asden. So, yeah, like I said, you could see it everywhere. No matter what part of Asden you're standing in, you'll see this tower.
Are you familiar?
You'll see just a giant black spike in the sky.
It's actually silver, because that's.
Oh,
what
silver.
means.
Okay, my
Ooh,
bad.
yeah. A nice phallic shape on the horizon.
Oh, definitely.
Do you know the? Do you know the
Friendship Tower.
Yeah, friendship.
Just
Yeah.
for curiosity's sake, can you hear my kids destroying the office?
Oh yes.
Very
Okay, just
faintly.
checking.
Heartily.
Just faintly though. Just faintly. It's not disruptive or anything. Do you have do you know any of the definitions or like the interpretations of the tower? Like, because it's typically like a card that like is supposed to symbolize rebirth and stuff.
Right.
And there's usually somebody jumping out of the tower, or like the tower's being struck by lightning. And there's all kinds of symbolism with that too, like implying that like somebody can get transformed by their life being destroyed, but then it's rebuilt, and it's all kind of this it's in the cosmic or magical scheme of things, or perhaps a magical force came down and transformed them.
Right.
But in the process of that, you have to tear down the tower, which is their life or what they perceive their life to be. Yeah, stuff like that.
That's basically a Lessa story in a nutshell. That is my story. That's the Shadows of the Argent Tower. That is the story right there. Yeah.
And that's a spoiler, dude.
I know. And it does start with her going to the tower. That's where that begins. Her life starting to be
Yeah,
down.
that's a great little intro there, by the way. Also, like this leads me to another question that will also kind of transfer into a slightly different topic.
Always.
Okay, we'll go home here soon, buddy.
Yeah.
Oh, don't whine like Bambi, dude. Come on, I
yeah.
do better than that.
You got testosterone, boy.
I don't know what he said that last part. I'm sure he's fine.
Probably.
He's fine. He's fine. He's fine. Anyway, that is like character motivations. Like, what is your main character's motivation in this story? And that transfers into the topic of character motivations in general. What we like, what we don't like, things like that.
Right.
I love
like
these
I said,
episodes.
she wants to help the world. In order to do that, she's joining a particular guild called the Order of Morven. Morven was a very well-known wizard.
Morven?
Morven.
Not Mormon.
No, not Mormon.
Okay.
Not the Order of Mormon.
I was about to crack up laughing, dude. I thought
Plot twist.
Not quite, but they're all about diplomacy and trying to make sure no wars are starting and whatnot is what their thing is. So she wants to join up with them to stop wars from happening.
Sweet. Well, that works out, dude. Yeah, she's just altruistic and trying to live in a way that helps others, and she's trying to give back. Maybe she had a good upbringing, maybe she didn't, but either way, she wants to make the world a better place.
It really kind of seems. It really does kind of seem that it's like because we all can't help but think this way. And Evalie, I think you can back me up on this with your opinion of like fun and like why couldn't they just be happy, stuff like that. I think CA's character is actually a good example of that because like we have been kind of focused on like the drabness or like the grimdark aspect about it, talking about that kind of stuff, maybe some pessimism and stuff like that. But it really sounds like that he's trying to kind of shine a ray of a single beam of light within a dark world, right? So like it's going to be all this terrible stuff. But from the sounds of it, the character is, like Kahuna said, altruistic and has these peacekeeping motivations, which could be, ironically up your alley. How do you feel about that? Where it's more of a character that
the world sucks, but this character is trying to make it better.
Oh, the world more than sucks. It's straight up like disgusting and horrible, right? But then the character is like a beam of sunshine, right?
Yeah, it's beyond my threshold. It's just the kind of thing you can insinuate and imply that there's terrible things going on, and maybe your book doesn't go into details on details on details, but for or maybe it does.
It does. Ask Kahuna. Kahuna knows.
What I was going to say, though, is, I think I'm sort of unique in the sense that I'm like, if it's like that dark, I just don't want the imagery in my head because I want people to shake it. I think that there are a lot of people, though, that they see grim dark and, some people call it grim derp or whatever, because there's so many stories that are nothing but. It's just nihilism. It's like everything sucks, everything's bad, and that's it. And there's a lot of people I know that don't read those sorts of books because there is absolutely no hope. So if your character does bring some of that, I think that will give it a much broader appeal because there are folks that they'll go through the muck if they can see that ray of light coming through. It sounds like your book is trying to do that.
That's me. I don't mind. The muck actually, like the darkness makes the light shine brighter.
Right.
As long as there's light.
Oh, and Evalie, how do you feel about characters that are a beam of light, but throughout the course of the story, the darkness slowly chokes the light out of them?
Picture a vibrant, beautiful blonde woman
that sounds wonderful.
Going out there to save the world, and then imagining life and her terrible circumstances slowly draining the joy in life from her through terrible traumatic experiences. Does that appeal to you?
Yes. Oh, well, yeah, now it sounds great.
Yeah.
You have me now.
Okay. Well, you'll love mine.
I'm not saying she's completely unaffected by the world that's going on. So, little column A, little column B going on there.
Yeah. Maturity, right?
Right.
Stuff happens. Shit happens.
Well, she's got to grow and learn to deal with the world before she can change it, right?
Yeah.
Si, senor.
Yeah. Friendship wieners.
And this friendship wieners, the only light in a dark world.
That would be a weird book.
That sounds like a weird Japanese light novel.
It might be the next
Oh no, I got
stuck.
I got stuck in a fantasy world with nothing but a friendship wiener.
No, you are the friendship wiener.
Oh, actually, that's more Japanese now.
Yeah, I've been reincarnated as a friendship wiener.
It has to be this has to be a comic, and it has to be a world filled only with things that are easy to draw. So like a hot dog is easy to draw. You just like put a face on a hot dog, it's easy to draw.
Yeah, it's easy to draw. You just have those buns, Then you got that hot dog, and it's like dripping on the edge. It's not hard.
Yeah,
Dude,
not
you've
hard at all.
seen anime?
You just
Food
squirt
is like
that.
food is like perfectly drawn every
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Every time.
that's true.
They could be
They do
eating
food really
garbage,
well.
and they'll make it look good.
Exactly. So no, it can't be easy to draw because food's always gonna be terrible. Terrible to
But
draw
yeah,
in anime.
yeah. So Justin, what's a good or bad character motivation for you? Like, what's something you like or dislike? You said you had a list.
I do.
I'll put you on the spot right here.
Oh no, it's fine. I got so my
Running out of
favorite.
time.
Yeah. Getting close, but my favorite motivations. I mean, I love stories. So if it's going to get the girl or the kid or whatever, got to save them, whoever it is. That's good. I like that. It doesn't have to be the core motivation. It can be like a side type thing. That's fine. But I like that one. That's something that I think a lot of people.
There is a
What's
love
that?
story that goes on in Shadows of the Argent Tower. Just
There you
saying.
go.
It happens there.
Throwing
Throwing that out there.
Stretch like Mr. Fantastic. It's there.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like love stories like that. I think most people can relate to that. I think it's something that most people want in their lives, so it's easy to relate to and all that. And if you're already in a relationship, it reminds you maybe how you met the person you're with and that sort of thing. So I like that. The idea of defeating an evil force or defeating, even if it's not an evil force, it could just be like something minor, like tool bags. Like there's douchey characters,
like
just
tool-
like
a person that's a tool bag, not
exactly.
fighting an actual. I thought you were talking like a carpenter that's just going to fight his tool bag.
Yeah, just like because it doesn't have to be like this huge force that's destroying everything in the galaxy and the world. It can be more like a local story where the guy's just like, that guy's just a punk and he needs put in his place, and I'm gonna punch him. I'm gonna hit him. I'm gonna see he's a crumb bum, and I want to fight him. I like when mysteries get solved, but I like mysteries that have like a supernatural element to them. Like regular murder mysteries or whatever, they're fine. It's fun piecing things together and seeing if you're right, and if you're clever enough and observant enough to pick up the clues to put it together. Those can be fun, but I like the supernatural twist. So those are my most favorite. Do you know what my least favorite too? I got two of those.
What's that?
So survival. If it's just them trying to survive, I get bored with that. I don't really care. It's just like, will they, won't they? Just tell me, because I don't need to go through like the whole event. Just like give me to the end.
I
If
think
know
it's
they
okay
survive-
as a temporary motivation, and
Temporary,
it can be
sure.
good if your book is more of a character study than a plot-driven story. But it's not for everyone, and you would hate it.
My second also not a favorite is just straight up revenge. Like if something so horrible happens that they're like, I just got to get this guy back. It's like, yeah, but if you lost something, you're not necessarily gonna get that back, and then you just lose something yourself along the way too. And it's like, I don't know.
Yeah,
So
but
those
it
are
makes
my
for
two.
good storytelling. There's so many stories where revenge is a motivator, a strong motivator.
Yeah, but to me, it's less interesting than justice. I feel like if you're gonna have somebody going after somebody, I like it to be more like, this isn't like wrath. It's just more, this guy needs to be punished. It's not something I'm going to take joy in. It's just like, this is just something that this guy needs to be dealt with or whatever.
Not
Not
goes into
vengeance.
like honor and justice and
I'm more like I'm on.
Yeah.
Vengeance does seem self-indulgent. I see what you're saying.
It is.
Yeah.
It's kind of a
That's the
classic.
point.
It is.
It's
But then
delicious.
you have a problem on the other side too, because then like if I'm killing for justice, that's not a personal thing. That's a very non-personal, like that's an outer thing. It's not an inner thing. So I think in storytelling terms, it's a harder thing to write. It can be done very well. I think it's just a very hard thing to write, and again, obviously justice will mean different things to different individuals, because whatever purpose you have, you're going to take something yourself into that purpose.
True.
And I think so. A lot of justice stories can also be revenge stories.
Yeah, definitely.
I've seen some stories that start off as revenge stories and then transform into something else, and I think that's pretty fascinating.
Love stories.
Yeah, definitely.
I think the sadder and the more serious the story is, and the more filled with vengeance and just dark imagery, the better. If it's something that makes me uncomfortable and sad and not have a good time, I want it. I want it, all of it.
A friend like that, and I'm like, what? Like he listens to the saddest music you can imagine. I'm like, why do you like that? He's like, dude, if I feel sad, I'm happy. I know it sounds weird, but that's it. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, sadness, just like feeling cold and like a wet.
It's like this
cold
story
where
made
there's
me
no
cry
warmth in
and
my
become
body.
very emotional, and I 10 out of 10.
Yes,
Just
definitely.
why?
I have emotions. I have emotions now.
If I could just not have a good time while I'm reading this, I will be happy reading it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's great. Just wanted to let you know, Justin. It makes me happy. No, I'm just kidding. But at the same time, if things are a little bit too sugary, if you know what I mean, I'm like, okay, oh yeah, they all lived happily ever after. Okay,
I love that. That's my favorite.
I hate it if it feels fake.
Well,
Like,
I don't know.
If they've
I'm like,
earned it,
when did we?
I'm cool with it, but
It's like, when did we slip into dream space? When did the characters start dreaming? Like,
because you can write anything. You
Yeah.
can. It doesn't have to be. It's literally anything you want can
You're
exist
right.
on that page.
Yeah.
So you can
I
invent
write
worlds and
boobs
escapism.
50,000 times, and that's a book.
boobs, 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 boobs,
Yeah,
boobs,
boobs.
boobs.
You
Start it
probably
now.
sell a lot of that actually.
You probably would, yeah.
Probably, yeah.
Like, I'm on chapter 8. It's still really riveting. I keep reading it. I know
Just
I've been
wait.
reading it for
Just
decades,
wait.
but I can't stop reading it.
And
If
then
you
I'll
could-
have a twist in the middle. They'll just say blood, and nobody
Oh,
will see
no.
that coming. I know, right?
That's a huge twist, yeah.
I know.
Oh my god,
I'd be like, it was really good, and then I can't.
it's a morbid twist.
Sorry,
It's a
book
super
club.
morbid twist.
I tried.
The reader.
I don't mind a morbid
Oh,
twist, but like some stories lose me. Like AOT or Attack on Titan. I liked it a lot for like 3 seasons, and then it really lost me towards the end there.
I never finished third season, so
You didn't like the twist after the basement?
there was a basement.
I didn't mind that. I didn't like where the story ended up going. It made it.
It's very grand.
It made it seem all pointless to me.
Yeah, and that's what happens when you do that kind of stuff. When you dabble with time.
It's like a certain other trilogy I may have brought up on this stream. Actually, it's like it starts off. It's like, oh, this world is crappy, but like these people are trying to be better, and even if they're not perfect, they're doing their best, and we can follow them on this fun journey. And then by the end of the journey, you're like, they're all terrible, and I hate all of them.
Yeah.
That's the thing that sucks is when you hate the characters. Like if
they made like we've all read books like that. You start off liking these characters, and then like by the end you're like, I hate all of you.
Yes,
Why are we? It's like that with a show. My ex-wife used to watch this show was Desperate Housewives, except that you hate them from the beginning also.
Yeah.
Like they're all terrible the whole time, all the way through.
It's what makes writing. Oh, sorry.
I'll probably get flack for this, but The Walking Dead is that for me. I stopped when I realized I hated all the characters. Like I don't care anymore.
What, The Office?
The Walking Dead.
The Walking Dead, yeah.
Oh, Walking Dead. Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah,
no, I got tired of The Walking Dead when it was too much walking and not enough dead. There's so many scenes of them walking with no music, nothing happening, no dialogue, no zombies, not interesting looking areas.
Yeah,
it's just walking.
No, that's 24 hours later.
It's not like the whole meme of like, oh, Lord of the Rings, you like a book about walking, huh? No. Walking Dead, it's in the name. It's walking.
Yeah.
They should have taken out the dead. It's the walking.
I want to go to like the compound out in the middle of nowhere, where it's just like everybody there works together and it's cool, and there's not like inner turmoil of the humans trying to like conquer each other, and they're just like, no, we're just like we're just actually a team. We just work together to fight the zombies, and we just.
Justin's like, can we all just like get along?
And when you follow the logic of The Walking Dead, that place actually does exist somewhere in the world, because the whole point of it is tribalism.
What if there was like a Game of Thrones, but it's about the farmers that live like far enough away from the cities that they just like see the war going on or something? Like, oh geez, they're back at it again. How are those potatoes coming in?
That would be a good Walking Dead spinoff.
Justin's Walking Dead ideal Walking Dead has no zombies. It's a bunch of neighbors farming, getting along, not having any conflict whatsoever, dude.
And they just like hear in the distance, like,
They're
well, I'm
playing
glad we
Stardew
moved out of
Valley.
this.
Yeah. Like you meet a girl, they fall in love, and they have a
Stardew
perfect
Valley.
relationship where they never fight. It's like
It's
this
Stardew
is
Valley.
Awesome.
Dude,
they figured out Justin's ideal Walking Dead. This is it.
They can even trade with some real bad characters, Justin. They can even trade with some real rough around the edges characters, if you know what I mean. Some real tough guys.
These guys show up and they're like, you go and you can go back where you came from.
And then they go back and it's fine. Yeah. They just go back to farm.
Okay. We should address Anne's comment here because it is important. a lot of stories are dark and edgy just for the sake of it, and if that's all it is, I don't really care for that either.
True.
There needs to be substance, or it doesn't mean anything. It's just trying to shock you.
Right.
Trying to like, it's like, yeah, look at me. Oh, it's like I kind of felt that way with Edge Runners. You guys ever see that show?
I like
what you just said. Ooh, look at me. Is perfect. That's actually spot on.
Well,
Ooh, look at me.
Look at me. Ooh.
Exactly.
Ooh.
That's what it comes off as.
Well,
That's what it comes off as.
Didn't tell you we didn't tell you he's going to show up on the show, but here he
Well,
was.
there he was. Look at that.
Well, with Edge Runners, the point is that Night City sucks. There's no good endings in Night
Night
City.
City sucks. The characters suck. Nothing good will ever happen. He's gonna go with the depressing skinny girl instead of the short queen. It's a terrible show. Anyway, I might have outed myself with that one. Oh, Christ Almighty!
Oh no.
Well, we know which hole that you would go into on that that picture you showed us.
Don't say that. Dude. Yeah, see, it's like, wait, how many are there? I'm like, well, there's this age, and then there's like 2 or 3 more. And you're like, no.
I was like, no, it should have stopped at those
It
first
should
3.
have stopped here. Why are there more?
Yeah, basically. It just kept getting worse.
But yeah, it really is like walking a fine line. It's what makes writing in like negative character arcs or like tragedies really hard. Because at like what point does the audience absolutely hate the character, and then how do you wrap it up quick enough after that point for it to be tasteful? Like a good example is Oedipus the King, right? Like nobody likes Oedipus, even though it's a tragedy and he falls in love with his mom and stuff on accident. Nobody likes
you
Oedipus.
really related to that part, or
No, that's the thing. Nobody likes Oedipus the whole time, but somehow it's
nobody likes him.
Yeah,
it's like what's a good example? Like Fate Zero. Fate Zero is a good example.
Oh yeah,
it's a very dark story. Like, CA, you've seen it, right?
I've seen one of them, one season.
Okay. Yeah, like Fate Zero is a classic Greek tragedy. A lot of characters who are good have bad endings, and a lot of characters that are bad have not terrible endings. But there are points of light in the show, and that makes them shine all the brighter. You remember the heroic characters and their heroic moments. Yeah, and then that makes the tragedy all the sadder. It's like, I just wanted to save the world, and it's like, oh, but the way you save the world on a grand scale doesn't save the world, it destroys it. And it's like, it's such someone who sacrificed everything to try to achieve this, and then it turns out he was wrong the entire time. And it's and at the end, like this guy who wanted to save the world, he saves one child, and that's the happy light at the end of that story.
Yeah,
not going to say who, but yeah.
Yeah, and that's the key to a good tragedy, though, is because if you constantly bombard someone with tragedy, people will get used to anything that they're constantly exposed to. So it doesn't.
They get desensitized.
Yeah, you get desensitized. You won't feel it anymore. So you have to have good light parts where you're happy for the character, where things slow down a little bit, and you get to know the character a bit, and then you add the tragedy.
Yeah, Justin, you have to have hope so that when you take it away from them, it hits that much harder.
You gotta feed them a delicious Wagyu steak, so then that way when they have to take that bite of dog turd, it just tastes that much worse.
They missed the steak.
Dude, why don't you just give me another steak?
You can't just drop an atomic bomb on screen and expect us to care.
Man.
You have to get to know these characters and how this woman is struggling to raise her 2 kids after her husband left, and then drop the bomb.
No, you let them press the button that lets the bomb go off.
You can give me a bite of cold steak, or like well done steak. But then I want to go back to the good steak. Like let's just you can take it back a little bit.
I'll give you some progress. We'll start with like a good steak, and we'll go to a well done steak, and a crappily made steak, then Taco Bell, then dog turd.
And then we end with the cow while it's still alive. That's the
the cow. Now you got to bite this cow. Yep.
All right, guys, I don't have that much time, so I do want to read this little snippet from CA about his book.
All right, sweet.
So hold on. I gotta turn on this Fairy River copyright-free music. Hold on.
Say Fairy River.
This feels appropriate. Stop it, Elric. I'm not mad, Elric. Just stop.
Yeah.
Okay, so can you guys hear the river ambiance? Elric, stop.
No,
no, sir.
You're yelling at your kid.
Elric, stop it. Do you hear the ambiance?
Okay, properly so.
There we go. Quiet, Elric. Alessa wants to become... Quiet. 1 second. We're almost done. No. Stop. Alessa wants to become...
Beautiful ambiance. I love it.
It's great. No, it's wholesome. I love it.
He's pointing and laughing. Stop. Alright, I'll let you say something in a minute. Like, step out for 2 minutes. 30 seconds, even.
Yeah.
Alessa wants to become a wizard of the Argent Tower, believing they will give her an opportunity to help people. But, despite her clever, studious nature, when she is tested for magic, she has no aptitude whatsoever. With no talent, no connections, and no resources, things seem bleak. That is, until she learns of a job as a caretaker for the tower's residents' half-demon. She takes a job and heads to Asden, home of the Argent Tower. Quiet. Yeah, sure.
And look, if she do this,
that's
it'll-
badass.
Look.
Okay, show them. Otherwise, they won't see it.
Yeah, let's see it. Let's see it.
Do it.
That's sick.
Do the thing.
What?
Oh!
That was supposed to happen. Anyway. She takes the job and heads to Asden, home of the Argent Tower. On arrival, she finds out that demons roam the streets of Asden.
Oh.
And when she saves a woman from being kidnapped by the demons, she becomes entangled in a conspiracy that may have world-shaking consequences.
Yeah, they ain't happy.
Little does she know that her ties to the conspiracy run deep, all the way back to her own birth.
Oh.
Anyway, that's where we're at. No interruptions. Great perfectly themed music. This whole thing has been a large, enormous Kahuna tingling success.
So she got a job. She got a job for working for a
Justin,
demon?
this is a happy story. She got a job. She helped a woman. Females are being
This is
protected.
very empowering. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Children are obviously safe if women are also being helped. Obviously.
She uncovers a
Well, the woman
mystery.
was pregnant, so
She covers a mystery concerning her descent, or her ancestry and her blood, where she came from.
For any wondering that copyright-free music was Dreaming of Neverland, I'm really glad that I was able to... It really fit the theme of this kind of story. I'm glad I was able to play it. Oh, Christ almighty. But yeah, that's where we're at, man. No, that's a great little snippet there. So, some people's snippets
that was a good one.
say too much. This does not say too much. I think this is a great way to introduce the
really
character,
hard.
kind of what she wants, and the very beginning. Yeah, it's very hard to write. They're
Dude,
shockingly hard
blurbs.
to write.
Blurbs are like poetry. It's like something
I know.
crazy, like some weird kind of poetry. Women
Women get things done.
Oi, oi.
Clap like a seal. Clap.
They do. Look at that new press secretary getting shit done. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Anyway, continue.
You're right.
yeah.
You're right. So she works for a demon.
She works
For
half
a demon.
half
For a
demon.
half demon. Okay.
Yeah, it's
Like a
significant.
teapot.
Basically,
Was it the male half or the female half? Which half is demon?
the male half.
Okay. Yep.
I
that's gonna
knew
be-
it.
Yep.
Of course, you'd blame men.
That's the same half as the orcish half. Yep.
Oh yeah,
That's the same half as the orcish half.
it's a DIR. Demon
Oh,
equality
no.
inclusion.
Well
Nice.
done.
Demons are like we are evil, but we're not we're not bad. We're not anti-woke.
I will
okay?
say-
So-
I will say this. I think the Starlight Expedition with Captain Vigla from my
I don't
book
know who this is. I'm glad you came in for this nonsense at the very end.
I
Thank
agree.
you.
I'll say the Starlight Expedition is funded by U.S. aid. Probably,
Yes.
most
Yeah,
likely.
definitely.
So is Argent Tower? Is it accepting USAID funding?
Always.
Formerly funded, maybe.
Okay,
Right?
for sure. The guilds would, wouldn't they?
Oh, they totally would.
Yeah, the guilds
Yeah,
would.
it was an experiment. Like, what if we let right-wing people write grimdark? Let's just see what happens. Oh, Christ almighty. All right, guys. Unfortunately, my kids are probably going to burn this place down if I'm not careful. So we got to start wrapping it up. We're getting towards the end here. Enough with the fairy music and everything else. Let's tie these friendship wieners together and head out.
Fairy stories.
All right, we'll start with you, Mr. Justine.
Evaleighmusic girl named Music.
Fantastic.
Correct.
What
Fantastic.
have you got to share with us, my friend, before we head out?
Oh, just standard. I make rock and metal music under the name Evaleighmusic, like it's spelled right there. Just Evaleighmusic, whatever platform you listen to music on. Newest release was like 19 songs I did for other people, and I got a bunch of stuff in the works, which I'm excited about. I'm doing like the next release will be like there's a single in there called Fire Everything. I'm re-releasing it as an expanded EP, so it's gonna have 6 or 7 songs on it, and it's gonna be aggressive and loud, and I think it's coming along really nicely. Get some
It's gonna slap. It's gonna slap.
I think so. I think parts of it. Yeah, I think for sure. If you like metal,
Yeah,
I think,
your last album was my favorite one you've ever released to this day.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm excited for what you have coming out next.
Yep. So stay tuned.
C.A. Pence. Rumor has it you may have a book someday. Tell us.
Someday I might. Jeez. Yeah. So it was for pre-order for a little bit, and then I missed the pre-order date, so I'm still working on it. But I will announce when it is up and ready. I'll announce before it's up and ready. But for now, you can find me at Fantasy CA Pence on X and www.capenceauthor.com.
Oh yeah, AC. You have a friendship wiener to show us.
Yes, sir. So my band is still going a steady 500 listeners per day.
Hell yeah, dude.
Go check out Empty My Lungs on Spotify. That's where the listens help us out the most. Otherwise, go subscribe on YouTube. Help us get to 1,000 and monetize. I will be launching a brand new podcast with Empty My Lungs that's all music centric. Evaleighmusic will probably appear a lot of the time. There's probably going to be some Kahuna, Battsauce if he wants to. Basically, music centric topics are all going to be over there. So you won't be bogged down too much with that on Iron Seas. Not that there's like a good excuse over there. So yeah, expect some specials and stuff like that. Otherwise, you've seen my background the whole time. I have a comic that you should go check out. Back it, help us get to 50 backers. We're over halfway there. Fundmycomic.com/ASOS. Some beautiful art from Luke Stone. Written by me, adapted from published source material. It's a short story with a beginning and end. Those of you who've read Mortal Descent probably already know A Saga of Sunsets. But yeah, either way, go check that out. Grab a collectible. Nothing on the campaign is going to be reprinted, so go grab it.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah. For me, I spent a lot of time editing a collection of clips from our stream about Naomi King and Daniel Green. No, not your turn. You're not a streamer, little one. The kids
He'll
are
stream
rebelling.
one day. He'll stream one day. You'll get him there.
Anyway. Okay, what do you want to say? What do you want to say?
Help Dad do closing statements.
Promise my mommy.
Oh,
Yeah.
good, thanks.
Yeah.
I love you too. Get
Yeah.
out of here. Oh, Christ almighty. Anyway. Someone's
My
going to
son-
clip that. Oh.
My son says the same thing.
Anyway, no, but it's all the bingo card moments from our streams about Daniel Green and Naomi King. That Battsauce and I recorded. It's pretty damn funny, and we added helpful visuals, maybe even a friendship wiener or two. You'll just have to watch and see. It'll be really public here in just a few days. But alas, thank you for joining us on the Iron Seas. Thank you. See you next week, Tuesday, 6:30 PST, the Lord's time. Thank you, A.C Pritchard, Justin Evaleighmusic, and Mr. C.A. Pence. Woo!